Good evening and welcome to another exciting show. And I didn't get caught out this week with the intro. And as I say, tonight we're live on Food for Thought Radio, Holy Land FM, Holy Land Radio. We're also live on Rumble and YouTube and Odyssey, as well as Facebook and hopefully X as well. So there's quite a few we're live on. And welcome to the show. We've got the first on was Patrick. Well, not really. It was, I don't know if it's Anorak or Patrick, but it's Patrick all the way from Wisconsin. Oh, by the way, I haven't said what date it is. It's Sunday the 15th of March, 2026.
The Ides of March.
The Ides of March. You know, infamy. Why have they all got it infamy? That's what. Yes, and so that was in a Carry On film, wasn't it? Carry On, Cleo, was it? So it's welcome Patrick, and it's welcome Anorak. And there's a question that Patrick had, which a lot of Americans have. What does Anorak mean? So far away, Anorak. What does it mean? I mean, we both know what it means.
It's a bit of a humorous aim at the old classic train spotter, where you'd have the old duffel coat and the pack-a-mac, that sort of thing, spotting trains at the end of the platform. So the name Anorak, I use it as a it's just
what
stuck
does
as that.
Spotting trains mean?
Say that, sorry.
What does spotting trains mean? Is it like a hobo? Like we here
it's
in
an
America,
English
we get the
thing.
hobos.
No, it's an English thing.
All right.
So it's collecting numbers off locomotives, and every locomotive has a unique number, so it's collecting them and ticking them all off. It's as exciting as that.
Oh, okay.
And
riding the rails.
And what happened about, was it 20, 30 years ago? There's also people that wear anoraks, you see, because the people that do this generally wear anoraks, so we call them an anorak. You know, it's a you know, do you know what an anorak is? It's a sort of a it's a kind of, what is it? It's a nylon coat with a hood. Okay. And you zip it up the front. It's you buy them cheaply on markets. Yes, not quite. No, it's nylon though. When I say nylon, it's that sort of nylon. You know
like
what I mean?
Waterproof.
Yeah,
double as a rain jacket.
That's right. And normally they're a bit grubby on the cuffs and a bit grubby on the hood. You see, and they stand there with their cheese sandwiches. It's always cheese and vacuum flasks with a notebook staking numbers of trains. And about 30 years ago, because there's also plane spotters as well that take the numbers of planes, and a group of plane spotters went to Greece and stood outside a military Air Force base taking the numbers of the planes taking off. They all got arrested and thrown in jail, and it was a big joke saying, just imagine turning up in court, here you are, your notebook, pencil and a cheese sandwich. But anyway, we've got Maleficus. Good evening, Maleficus. We've got Aunt Sally. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot you there. Hello, Aunt Sally, who's either about to go in the bath, or getting out of the bath. We just don't know. And then we got Happy Mother's Day.
UK Mother's Day.
Yes,
UK,
right. Yes,
we don't have that until May.
Ah, so you have a rip-off, and I tell you, all the supermarkets are decked with flowers, loads and loads of flowers.
Do you celebrate International Women's Day?
We know of it, but I don't know if it's celebrated. What do you think, Anorak? Do we?
Must be a continental thing.
I don't know. I think we have a day. We have a day for everything, don't we? A squeeze your spot day, a go and piss up a lamppost day, everything in it. We have a day for everything.
Yeah, they always have awareness days, don't they? You know, flatulence awareness day.
I have that every day.
And now the thing is that now, how's everyone been looking after their mum today? It was a bit difficult because my mum's passed away. I'm an orphan. I ain't got any mummy and daddy, and I think you're the only one here, Patrick. It's got your mummy and daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
And-
God.
I've got my mummy.
Oh, you got your mummy, yes.
My mummy's in a care home, but yeah.
But the
No
thing
daddy.
is, what is it that ladies like about cut flowers? I can never understand. You know, you sort of give a woman some flowers and their eyes light up, but I prefer to give a pot plant that's living and you can water it and it carries on. Why buy something that's got a sort of life expectancy of a week? It doesn't. I don't know.
There might be an answer in there though, Chris. Maybe they don't want the potted plant because they've got to look after it. Was it then you chuck them out?
That seems about right.
Right. It says, I don't care about these things. Some aspects of culture is mind control. The master's telling me, this is Sam, telling me that today it is the day of that, this, and that. Yes, I agree. Yes, that's
Well,
right.
the church used to have holy days that we would all observe and take off of work and have a feast day. And that's gradually eroded to the point where we have all of these secular holidays to replace them. That's my theory of why we have this. Because you can't just go through life without celebrating anything. That would be boring. Going to work every day the same year in and year out without any vacation time.
Yes.
So they got to come up with something to fill the void, I think.
But I used to think that Mother's Day was 9 months after Father's Day. I think that you got to think that one through. And then we got here, oh, bloody hell, here it comes. A bit of political correctness here. Happy birthing person's day. Oh, yeah.
Well, do you not think it's interesting? I agree with what Nathan says there about all these different dates throughout the year. I mean, why do we wait till Valentine's Day to tell someone that you love them? If you love them, you just tell them. It doesn't matter what day. We don't need the government or the Gregorian calendar to tell us when you should say
I think the
love
Valentine's
someone
Day
and so on.
replaced a holiday back during the pagan times and Roman days that was pretty brutal. I think men would castrate themselves on that day in celebration of this goddess. I think it was
Really?
Bellona, which was the goddess of war. I'm not sure about this exactly what the name is, but it was a terrible day. They would sit and mark themselves up and cut themselves to bleed and that sort of thing. I'm reading about this now in a book. That's why.
Oh, blimey!
I know, but Valentine's Day
really. It's put me off my sausages. That has.
I'm just thinking it takes balls to do that.
No, seriously, they had some sort of holiday that they would celebrate a goddess, some goddess in the Roman. What do you call it? The mythology.
Yes. I wouldn't have thought many would have survived, but I don't know.
Is that where the Bee Gees came from then?
Falsetto, yeah. You'd have to.
Oh dear. Jojo Gizmo says about anoraks, they were invented by an Irish woman called Anne O'Rack. Oh, yes. Yes. DJ B2, hi everyone. Oh, we got a bath update. I'm not in the bath. I decided to stink today. However, I just bathed one of my smelly dogs. She is white again instead of muddy grey and no longer stinks. And I know that on Facebook you have, adoption for blind dogs? And I think when I say blind dog, not the owner blind, but the actual dog itself blind. And there's some lovely dogs there that have had a pretty tough life, and my heart goes out to them. Sorry?
How do they see the post on? If there's an advert, how do the blind dogs see it?
That's a good point. That is. Well, did I tell you I saw a guide dog cock his leg up a blind man's leg? I said, "Excuse me, mate. Do you know your dog's just cocked his leg up your leg?" He said, "Oh, has he? Hang on." He puts his hand in his pocket, gives the dog a biscuit. I said, "Hey," I said, "He's just peed up your leg and given him a biscuit." She said, "Yeah, that's so I can find where his head is, so I can kick him in the ghoulies." Nathan said, "Dad died. Mother's mental, so no contact. At least it's quiet, and I don't have to buy tons of flowers because the system or arbitrary dates says so." Yes. Well, I walked into a local supermarket where every little helps, and bloody Nora, there's flowers everywhere. You think it's someone's birthday or funeral, whatever it was. Now it says, where are we there? Hey there, I have always wanted to know why Mother's and Father's Days are on Sundays. Yes, because they used to pack the children off to Sunday school and have a couple of hours to themselves.
You think that's why?
Possibly.
I doubt it. It's the
Right.
same here too, though. We have them on a Sunday, so we carry on
Yeah.
that tradition, that English tradition.
Yeah, it's just a strange thing, isn't it? Now, tonight, there's a very important Fockham Hall poll going on. And it says, if you would like to vote in tonight's poll on my Telegram channel, the link is, and I've got the link below there. And I've also got the link below in the description as well. So you can go on there. And what it is, I'll just read, I'll show it on the screen what the poll is and where it is at the moment. It's very close, it is. And so let's go over and shove this on the screen. Where are we? Do. There we are. And this is the Telegram poll. Now, I'll just go back here.
How much are you paying this poll, by the way?
Sorry?
How much are you paying?
It's rigged. It's definitely rigged. But what I say in it, I don't know if you can read that on the screen. It says here, for a laugh, as every British politician is a puppet to the usury scammers, let's vote on who would do a better job as Prime Minister of Britain. Okay, and in the running are from the top. Well, shall we say we've had 14 votes so far, and the lowest votes are at 7%. Mr. Methane, cardboard cutouts of the Cray twins, Lassie, and reincarnation. Oh, and 6% also is reincarnation of Celeste Patterson, the late Barry Humphries, Pinhead from Hellraiser horror films, Fat Slags, a jar of Peter Mandelson's hemorrhoid cream. And then coming up from there, we have 14% Sooty, the famous glove puppet, and linking both.
You just had a vote come in.
Yes.
For Basel.
Basil 40 is at 20%, and Skippy the bush kangaroo is at 20%. So it's very, very close. So it's nail biting, isn't it? So we've got 16 votes so far, and I'm thinking as it's the local. Where are we? Let's get back here. As it's the local, what do you call it? Hang on, I'll just move that out of the way. Just excuse me, sodding about. What am I doing? I've just got to remove.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's not. I've just made a bit of a balls up. There we go. Oh, stop sharing. That's it. I should have pressed that button in the first place. But no, as there's a local elections soon, I mean, sorry. I thought if a hairy-ass politician knocks on your door, which they very rarely do now, you could say, well, I'm sorry, the winner of the Fockham poll is, and you say, that's who we want to be Prime Monster, But would you like some brief extracts from some of the people that are put in the poll tonight? Yes? Would like that?
Well, so, most Americans wouldn't know, except for Basel and Lassie.
Okay.
That's about it. You didn't get Sooty and Sweep over in America?
We didn't get Skippy, no.
You didn't get Skippy?
No, Sooty and Sweep. How have you got this far in life, Patrick, and not ever seen Sooty and Sweep?
My God.
I can imagine they're, a broom and dustpan, or what?
No. Oh, they're intelligent. They're really intelligent. Honestly, you should Google them. They're really good.
Anyway, I'm going to go. Well, I'll see what we can do. Now, would you like to, first of all, it's Mr. Methane. And so, Mr. Methane, here it comes. Where are we?
Methane.
Mr. Methane. Methane.
Well, in American English.
Oh, methane, here it comes. And
on for level. Yeah. That was George Michael. That was Careless Whisper.
Okay.
A little bit of talc on the bottom. There we go. Like that.
Okay.
Is it? I haven't got a rear view mirror. Is the?
It looks very nice.
Is it well covered? Okay.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Here we go.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay.
From 5.
Okay.
5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So that's Mr. Methane, okay? And
Wow,
so
your humor over there is just that's something else. I gotta
know.
tell you.
But well, if you think that's bad, Fat Slags is the other one. I guess you've never heard of Fat Slags, and here is Fat Slags coming up. So if you want to vote for, Fat Slags, here it comes. So here we are, and I'll just zoom that up a bit.
Bad place to be.
Not in 10 minutes already. Hang on, I'm just putting the blotches on my legs.
Where to, girls?
To that pub up there.
Okay.
It's a car going uphill with 2 fat chicks in it.
That's right. Yes.
For our
It's
radio
Fat
listening
Slags.
audience.
That's right. Yes. Here we are.
There you go, girls.
How much is that then, lover boy?
Call it 10 bob, aye?
Oh, I've only got £100 note and a cent.
Yeah, 100, that's right.
Tell you what, how about quick tongue wrestle instead?
There we are. That's the Fat Slags, you see. And would you like to? Have you ever heard of Sir Les Patterson in America?
Only through you.
Right. Okay. For American viewers and listeners, we got Sir Les Patterson. So coming up is Sir Les Patterson. Here he comes, and
These are all candidates for your British Prime Minister.
that's right. This is, I think this it's a wonder he hasn't got more votes. So let's get him going. Here we go.
And hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
I must do a handful of Vaseline. Something. How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling too bad.
Yeah. Of course, images.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
What is it I've got in my hands?
Oh, it's an ointment I'm supposed to use. I'll give myself a quick application before the shower. I'm supposed to use an applicator, but I generally do. No worries.
Now let's talk.
So that is Sir Les Patterson. But I think cultural attaché. Well, he is a cultural attaché for Australia, but I think he could be a good prime minister. So what do you think? That is, and I'll quickly show you Desperate Dan. Here he is, Desperate Dan. So.
He's a cowboy.
He's definitely a cowboy. Yes, here he is, Desperate Dan. And you can see he's going to work having a shave with a blow lamp there. And but he lives in Britain. So that's
So you
Desperate
said
Dan.
Scotland, right?
Scotland, yes.
Yeah.
Well, did say Britain
Britain,
does
oh,
cover.
yeah.
So there we go. So that was Desperate Dan. So please keep voting, and I'll have a quick look at the votes. I'll keep you informed. See who's in the winning. It's very close now. Bloody Nora, it's gone up to 19 votes, and top of the list is Skippy the Bush Kangaroo so far. And what we got? Basil Forty's dropped to 16, and along with Sooty, Fat Slags is 11. A jar of Peter Mandelson's hemorrhoid cream is 5%. and Celeste Patterson he got 5%, and Lassie's got 11%. So
Sooty's doing all right there, 'cause I've just put my vote. I don't know if I should say I voted Sooty, but I have voted for Sooty.
Sooty, oh, that's good. And will
Yeah.
anybody be brave enough to say whether they voted for Skippy the bush kangaroo? So it's all getting very exciting here. I'll keep you updated on the scores as we go through, and the polls will be left open until next week's show. So
You're hoping to get to 20 then?
yeah, we're hoping to get to 20 votes. And Alice Gorgeous has said, what is it? Oh, hang on. I've got to change feeds because, well, actually, I can't put people's what people say along the bottom of the show screen because this happens every week. The bloody thing goes up the spout. But Alice Gorgeous said, "Oh, Eric, this show is becoming way too highbrow for me now." And Mike Mantis says, "Let's hope Mr. Methane will cut down on emissions." And Alex Gorgeous says, "Let's hope the government get wind of this." And that Mr. Methane clip was long-winded. Sweet was a rebel. That's Hereditous Get Fucked. And it says, Matilda says, Skippy to win because he talks sense, always saving someone somewhere stuck in trouble. Yes, that's right. Yes, Skippy the bush kangaroo. John Cleese will get my vote any day. That's Maleficus. Pink Planet said, Lassie, my favourite dog breed. They bound to do best job. Very intelligent. And where are we? And Nathan has said, just added to the vote. Sign me up for Basil 40. Maleficus, Basil 40 all the way. So we've got a lot of Basil 40s winners here, supporters. When the owner of Aer Lingus named his airline, it was his second choice. He went with it. He initially wanted to name it after his wife, Connie. Mike Mantis, Connie
Lingus.
Connie Lingus. Hang on, I'm a bit thick. And no, Connie. No, I'm a bit thick on that one. Penny will probably drop a bit later. And Matilda said Skippy the kangaroo to win. Yes. So there we go. So, Mike Mantis says Sooty for the win. Yes. So there we go. Now, Aunt Sally talking about blind dogs. You'd be surprised at how a blind dog manages to navigate the world, especially those born blind. They're the happiest dogs I've ever had. Oh, bless them. Also, they don't chase the wildlife. I bet they're very, very loyal. I can guarantee that. I bet they're really loyal, But that's amazing. I suppose there's other senses enhanced by it, But what I was going to say, going on about them and us, is what's your talk? What you think about Trump's talk? I think it was this week, which turned me sick. Getting a bit serious now. So this is what he said, and if I go over to there, and where are we? And
Iran's drone and missile capability is being utterly demolished. The Navy is gone. It's all lying at the bottom of the ocean. 46 ships. Can you believe it? In fact, I got a little upset with our people. I said, what quality of ship? Excellent, sir. Top of the line. I said, why did we just capture the ship? We could have used it. Why did we sink them? He said, it's more fun to sink them. I said, that's a... They like sinking them better. They say it's safer to sink them. I guess it's probably true. But think of it. We knocked out 46. It actually took 3.5 days.
I don't know about you, but that turned me sick because that they've killed people on that ship, which apparently was unarmed, and he's bragging about it like a teenager.
I will say, with looking at the numerology side of it, he said 46, and sacrifice equals 46.
That's interesting.
These things aren't by accident at all. There's a few others on there.
So I'm going to change feeds now because I can't something's gone wrong with the putting people's links up. So just bear me a few moments, so folks, and I'm just going to change feeds. I have to do this every bloody week. I don't know quite why. Poxy thing goes haywire every week. It does this. So here we go. Bing. That's it. We're in the second feed. Oops. That's it. I'm back, yeah. So yes, it does it every week. So I missed. It's gone and erased all the live chats. Anyway, we're back now. So you were saying, Mr. Anorak or Paul?
Yeah, just looking at you were saying about it was 46. Execution in gematria is 46. That was a value of 46. There's quite a few. No, the number 46 comes up quite frequently.
That's right. But how do you feel, Patrick? I mean, hopefully you're out of military age now. I know I am, but because you have to have you have to register, don't you? And you're 18, and from 18 to 25.
They say you do. You don't have to.
Yeah.
When they sent me a letter, I threw it in the trash.
Good for you. Excellent.
If they really needed, if they were really ready to go door to door hunting down draft dodgers, that they're, we're in a real desperate situation if that's the case.
Well, that's it.
That's where the usury racket comes in, though, because they get these student loans and other debt instruments that they use to then, entice people into the military as a way of paying off usurious loan type.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. You're spot on there. And Sue Sparkle said Trump is off his rocker. I can't listen to his crap. I mean,
I have a hard time listening to that too. I can't stand it. It's like listening to Netanyahu or any of these other people. I got to turn it off because it's just disgusting. Well,
I was disgusted. He's an insult to Americans because talking like a kind of bragging teenager when he's 70 something, almost 80-year-old man speaking like that. I mean, I felt embarrassed. Oh, we just seen coming out. Oh, piss off. I mean, now I don't know how many crew members were on board that ship, but there's grieving mothers, wives, children that won't see their father, or I don't know if there's women on board the ship, but more than mother.
Likely,
it might be. I don't know if it was a civilian one or not, but I mean, they reckon that Netanyahu is dead, don't they? They reckon he got killed. I don't know.
So
we don't know.
We don't know.
Yes, he's probably looking up from hell now, But the thing is that I've been watching this Chinese chap talking about what's got happening around, and it's all doom and gloom. And they're saying, was it another Vietnam? I don't know. I really don't know, because we just don't know what's happening. The real facts of the matter, it's just a complete mystery, because we're just told what they want us to know. Whether what they say is true or not.
Even where I'm at, they sit and talk about how they have sleeper cells of Iranians here in America. We've got this place up near where my family has a cabin on Devil's Lake. It's called Herzl Camp, summer camp. That to me is a sleeper cell. They go and they train them to salute to a foreign flag, little children, school-age children, and sign up for their military. So it's, where are these sleeper cells? I think we've had them for a long time, and they're unfortunately in our government and fighting for a foreign nation, and that's what they're going to do.
Oh yes, you're spot on. You've done one on Dimitri here. Sorry, I've got the wrong one. Sorry, mate. Where are we? It says RS Denta 43. That's the name of the ship, I believe, isn't it? Ship sank 4th of March, I 43, and then you say
this is that Iranian ship.
Yeah.
87.
Is this the one that was torpedoed off of India?
Yeah. Yeah.
waters. Okay.
Yeah, and the Indians apparently did a snide thing. They gave the Americans the coordinates of this ship because the ship was involved in some exercise with them.
Right.
So that's not a nice thing
And
to
they
do.
refused to go and help them, and it took the Sri Lankan Navy to help them.
Yeah. 87 killed. That's 87 too many. I mean, poor souls. 87 number of the beast, 87. That's right, yes.
But of course,
And-
if it's a false flag, as I said, the news articles always tell us. So they fired 2 Mark 48 torpedoes. Well, 48 as I mentioned before we came on air. False flag is 48. So
Well, then it might not. You're saying it might not have been an American submarine that torpedoed it.
It may not
might
have even
been
happened.
another. Well,
it may have been
not
something else.
Okay. Well, it might not have happened, or it might have been another country's that's involved submarine, because we know that the Israelis have submarines as well. So it could have been.
My feeling is it may not have happened. They always tell you something different. So I don't know if you're aware of this thing.
Like you say, it might not have happened.
And quite often 48 comes up, or because false flag has.
So look at the Bad Tonkin incident.
A false flag, though, doesn't always mean some. Well, yeah, but a false flag doesn't always mean that it didn't happen as far as an event. It just
but what it may mean is that
it usually it's a ship flying a false flag of the country that they represent. So another country, in order to seem like it's to feign it being done by another country other than the country actually doing it.
But in the news world, a false flag will be they'll tell you that this
a completely
American
made
ship
up story
has sank it, when in actual fact it was something else that sank it, or it
was never sunk to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay.
They always tell the numbers. Always tell you they never lie. The numbers are always spot on, and the fact that the location was 35 kilometers and Satan equals 35, it speaks volumes.
Well, Maleficus has said about Benjamin Nutty Knickers, or whatever his name is, Netanyahu. He is sipping wine overlooking the West Bank. If they say he's dead, yeah,
could be. Yeah. Could be Epstein.
We would never.
To the death.
Well,
like Elvis and all these other people too.
Well, that's it. Well, Elvis.
I shouldn't be facetious, but
that's okay. But I mean,
it could be. Yeah.
Well, Elvis isn't dead because he works in a local supermarket.
Justice would be, that he's taken out of the equation to be able to harm somebody, like you say so often, put him on an island and let him live out his elderly days out on an island, so he can't do any further harm than he's already done. That would be just.
Idi Amin, he was actually exiled. He went to Saudi Arabia, I believe, because I actually follow his son on Facebook. It's quite interesting what his son says, actually. Now, because you can't
he
blame.
Ate like 20 oranges a day. He used to watch satellite television all day.
Really?
In Saudi, yeah.
But the thing is that you can't. I mean, we had a lot of propaganda against Idi Amin. That some people say he was good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they made him out to be. They made a film not that long ago about some Scottish doctor that randomly chooses a country to visit and visits Idi Amin back in the day, in the heyday.
Yeah,
I forget what the name of that was, but it didn't make him out to be, overly cruel. Like the media seems to have.
We don't know. Now, Star of David is 666 as well. That's Mark Mantis says that. Now,
well, that's a hexagram.
Yeah.
6-pointed star.
Now, Sam says, I won't pronounce the rest of the name. I'm terribly sorry. I hope you don't think I'm rude. If there is conscription, slavery, that's for our American listeners, the draft, the majority of the slaves not wanting to fight will run away.
Well, it'll be like press gangs in Ukraine. Where press ganging means they go out and kidnap people off the street and shove them into a van and drive them to the front line.
That's right. That's what they do. They will not rebel and kill the masters.
Let's hope it's not an electric vehicle then, because they'll have to charge it 4 times before you get there.
Well, that's right. The trouble is that my dad was saying this. He said to get away once they introduced conscription, to get away was near impossible. They closed all the ports. Anybody of military age, they would hunt down. And
Right.
the only way you could really leg it in a way would be to join the merchant navy and then jump ship when you're when you're a neutral country. That's about the only way you could, really. Or but that's not easy. That's really not easy. But I know that during the Vietnam War, you could either go to Canada or Sweden, and they
Did
took.
they have any sort of law where the firstborn son didn't have to serve?
I don't think so. Not in this
I
country.
think they
no.
have that in our military, if I'm not
Really?
mistaken. Yeah, it's an old
Yeah.
law.
Well,
Yeah.
in the UK, would if we all moved to the Isle of Man, would that count? Because that's not part of the UK, is it? It's a separate country.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I know what they did do though. A lot of people that were dodging the draft went to Northern Ireland and then walked over the border, and they were safe in Southern Ireland because Southern Ireland was neutral. And as long as they kept in Southern Ireland, they wouldn't be picked. So there's a lot of uh, people working as English, working as servants and things like that in hotels and doing sort of menial work in Southern Ireland to get out of being conscripted. Because
Yeah,
Southern Ireland's
all this so warmongers can break the law and go kill people that they don't like. And, it's sick. It's
It is
absolutely
sick.
evil.
Forcing people to do things, to act against their will. I mean, my father was fuming. He really was. He was upset because he said, "I've never met a German in my life. Why should I be told to go and kill them?" You know, and
Right.
and you couldn't. And when you look at his call-up papers, it says Territorial Army, and a Territorial Army
Your
is
father's
volunteer.
papers? I was
Yeah.
looking at that the other day in that
Yeah.
booklet.
And it says Territorial Army.
It's a bluff.
It's a
He
complete
he-
bluff.
Yeah. That's why when I got it, I'm like, this is bull. And I threw it away because it's like, this is, it's like either you're in the service, the selective service, or you're not. It doesn't matter about signing up on the dotted line. It just shows your willingness to go if you do.
Yeah. But
So
you're
they'll pick
you're
on
lucky.
you.
You're quite close to Canada, so you can leg it over to Canada pretty quick. Although nowadays it's not so easy. But no, why should a person be forced into going to kill someone? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's just
And it's not as though the war is between us civilians and their civilians. It's our parasitic elite against their parasitic elite. We don't want the wars. It's nothing to do with us. It's if they want to fight each other, then they carry on, and we'll just sit back and eat the popcorn and watch them battle it out. Because it's not our problem, is it? At the end of the day, it's
well,
the
that's right.
people who are behind the scenes that ultimately want them. In
Well, the
first
problem
place.
is our money goes toward it, and our labor and all of the things that in our country outputs. For instance, in America here, look at all the missiles and battle gear that they use to do these dastardly deeds that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do if they didn't have the equipment.
That's right. That's right. Now, Alice Gorgeous says, hang on, where are we? Come on, Alice. No, I can't. Won't come. Oh, that's it. No, Netanyahu posted a video today saying he's not dead and hasn't got 6 fingers on each hand.
Right, but his cup of coffee was so full that he was swinging it around, it should have spilt. That's what I've heard. It's called coffee gate
interesting.
now. Yeah.
Uh,
So even that
now-
may have been AI.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the video, but why are people
I have.
stupid enough to go along with it? Time for all military to stand down. It's dishonourable order, and you know it. Well, the thing is that a lot of blokes, including Benny Hill, went on the run when they got their call-up papers. They legged it, and they're going to safe houses around Britain throughout the war. And there's a chappie, John, who often comments on BitChute, and his father was a draft dodger during World War II, and had it pretty tough. But there also another thing is some people were literally harming themselves, so they weren't fit for the military, like chopping their leg off or something. Seriously, or chopping their foot off.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
things like that.
I heard the story that we had a comedian, black comedian here called Red Fox. His name was actually John Sanford, and he did that show Sanford and Son, which was a takeoff of Steptoe and Son. And he said he was proud of his claim of getting out of the military by eating a bar of soap so that it gave him heart palpitations.
Yes, that was one.
When it came to the physical that he took.
Yeah, they did that in World War II as well. But in the end, near the end of the war, a relative of mine had one eye. He lost his eye to a catapult when he was a kid, and that didn't exempt him. He was still within the forces with one eye. And they was expecting almost anyone. If you could stand up, you could have a rifle in your hand, and that was it. So he went into the forces right at the end of the war with one eye. So that was now Maleficus has said, happy to jump in if you email me a link, Eric. You've got a link, mate, because if you look at the advert for tonight's show on Telegram, if you're on Telegram, or Rumble.
Is it in Rumble? Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. Facebook. It's on Facebook. Or you look at one of those. There's a link there, and so if you've got problems getting the link, tell me, and I'll pop it over to you. So, but you can get it off the Telegram channel, and you'll see.
He doesn't have Telegram. I'll send it to him.
Are you sure? Thanks, mate.
Yep.
Oh, that's ever so kind of you. That's really much appreciated. Thank you. Now, answer. He said, don't forget they'll be trying to force women to fight in the forces as well as men. Yes, in Israel, women as well as men have to do time in the forces. And Mike Mantis said, that's scary, Aunt Sally. I wouldn't want to face thousands of women with PMT.
Women with what?
PMT. Premenstrual tension. Premenstrual tension, yeah.
PMS?
Yeah.
We call it PMS. I don't know.
PMS.
It's different.
Laugh out loud. Maleficus says, when Benny Hill goes on the run, I just hear the music.
Yakety sax.
Yeah, yakety sax. Because he's quite big in America, wasn't he, Benny Hill? He's
they were playing reruns up until the 90s. They probably still play reruns of that.
That's right. Now, Blue Ray says,
saucy humor.
It's always the women and children that suffer. War is evil, and seriously, one needs to question themselves when thinking if joining the army. Well, I was brought up as a pacifist.
Don't join the army.
Don't join the army. I was brought up as a pacifist because my father.
Send me the link. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah,
no,
you're quiet, but we can hear you.
Hello. Didn't change the link.
I can turn me up. Is that any better?
That's a lot better. Hello, Maleficus.
Hello. I just want to say that, as soon as you said about Benny Hill going on the run, all I can hear is the music.
Yeah, but what's Cornwall like today? Is it the same as yesterday, the day before?
It's getting predominantly less white at the moment, but yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's good. Because I was going to go out on my bike today, stepped outside, bleeding cold, turn around and walk back in again.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yes, I don't want to get frozen in the Bin Ladens, up the shore. Is it was it up the Glens? No, I don't want to get frozen. But the problem where I live on top of a hill, so you can go for a couple of miles downhill, so you don't pedal much, so you get absolutely frozen. But you don't get frozen when you're coming back because you're panting going up the hill. So.
Well, no, so we're busy manufacturing the weather this morning, going across the sky with the lovely aeroplanes with the lovely trails behind them.
Yes.
Manufacturing the weather for today.
Yes. Well, we're going to have it nice, aren't we? Was it from, I think Wednesday onwards, it's going to be clear blue skies. So they've asked the boys to.
Is that from the perspective that they are putting stuff up in the air before the commercial airlines go over, I'm assuming?
Well, in the morning, it's like you ought to see it. They're doing it all through the night. It's like a bloody spider's web.
Now, I got a question. If they can make clouds appear, can they spray something that makes them disappear so we can have nice sunny weather? I mean, come on, that'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
I think they can do both, to be honest.
Well, so the whole concept really is that silver iodine is sprayed up there, and because obviously commercial jet airlines can't carry enough of anything other than passengers and luggage in order to get where they're going. So the whole idea being that substances like silver iodine and stuff are sprayed up there beforehand for the commercial jetliners to fly through. Are we talking from that concept, or?
Well, I was told
we're on the chemtrail thing again.
Yeah.
We had that with Dave the other week.
Oh, okay. So I missed that show. So maybe I need to go and do a little bit of due diligence there. That's with a D.
From my understanding, it's done through, they use aerosols on the wings of the aircraft. I think they're either military aircraft or they are converted cargo planes that they use. But a lot of...
The only reason I ask is because obviously everyone's got a mobile phone nowadays, apart from me, and there's an app you can get on your phone which will track commercial aircraft. You can't track private aircraft anymore because people like Elon Musk had that shut down. But commercial aircraft you can track, and the idea that commercial aircraft can actually spread anything through the air is just from a business point of view, absolute just nonsense. But if we're saying that they can fly through something that's already been placed there in order to create these man-made clouds, then we've got somewhere to go on that, I guess. But if you can track the aircraft on your phone, there's no way it can be spraying anything, if you get what I'm saying.
All I can say is pay attention to the have a look at the weather forecast. So if we've got a period of 3 or 4 days of clear blue skies, and then they say we've got a storm coming at the end of the week, about a day before or 2 days before, they'll be out spraying back and forth, and you can literally, you just watch them. I mean, obviously, a vapor trail will just vanish behind the aircraft
Not always. It depends what they're flying through and what altitude. So,
but a vapor trail cannot stop and start.
Yes, you can.
I've watched them. I was watching them today, and you can see as the trail comes out, it expands and drops, and you can see what they do. You can see. I've sat here and watched them literally making the weather.
I'm not dismissing what you're saying. It is Nathan, isn't it?
It's Paul.
No, it's Paul.
Oh, it's Paul. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm not dismissing what you're saying at all. But just so one thing that will occur from my World War II studies when they first started producing jet aircraft, and even aircraft that weren't jet aircraft that were flying at really high altitude, when they first started flying at that altitude where the German planes couldn't reach them, they would leave a vapor trail, and depending on the atmospheric conditions, sometimes the vapor trail would start and stop. So that's a given. That's a natural thing. So I've been talking to a friend recently, Mr. Von Kurt, who is friend of this show, in fact.
Yeah, Al Von Kurt. Yeah.
Al Von Kurt. Yeah, you may. He's been in the chat loads. Actually,
he's been on with us.
Yeah,
and the and also, so we're going to do a show on this actually in probably a month's time, on the Shelley Tasker show. But the one thing that you can guarantee is that if you pick up a jet aircraft on your mobile phone, i.e. on the tracking app that everyone can download, and you can tell where it's going, what its destination is, if it's carrying passengers and luggage, it can't be spreading anything. The only thing that it can be doing is going through an area of atmosphere that has had something seeded in it, and that will create something. So I just wanted to clarify that, just on a basic level. If you can track the aircraft on your phone, it won't be spreading anything, but it may be contributing through to what we call persistent cloud by passing through an area of atmosphere that has already been seeded.
Well, when we had a storm towards when was it, the end of February, which took out the railway line down on the Devon coast. That was
Storm
that
Goretti.
was that was
Storm Goretti.
that was a storm that was manufactured. That's why the weather forecasters can tell you what the weather's going to be in 2 weeks' time, because they make it. And in my world of gematria and numerology, the hurricanes that, for example, hit America, like Florida, there was one a couple of years ago, which I can't remember what its name was now, but I know the value equaled 83, and the center of that storm arrived on Florida on a date that leaves 83 days in the year. That's that's manufactured. That's not nature just happening to turn up on that day. I think it might have been Storm Milton, and Storm Milton equaled 83, and it turned up, hit Florida on the day, leaving 83 days in the year, and 83 is murder in their world.
Look, I'm not taking anything away from that. All I'm saying is that commercial jet airlines that carry passengers and luggage, etc., are taxed to the hilt. There's no way they're able to carry anything else other than the fuel that they need to travel. So what I'm saying is that I just wanted to clarify that it may be the case that the stuff that they're flying through that has already been planted there by something that is not traceable. So it's not necessarily the jet airlines themselves that are part of some deep, dark conspiracy, but the ice crystals that they leave behind them, which is a natural phenomenon, through burning what they burn, are flying through something that has already been seeded there by something that is not trackable.
But if they were doing that, I'm not going against what you're saying, but if jet aircraft leave that behind because of the temperature they're flying through, it'd be a daily occurrence, and it's not. And I'll give it a good example. When we had the lockdowns, we had wall-to-wall blue sky from about March right the way through
I've
to
mentioned
right the
that
way
many
through to
times.
September.
We did. Yeah.
If they'd have been, they couldn't spray at that point, because if they had done, it'd been blatantly obvious. Hang on a second. To anybody out there who was locked down, they'd have been saying, "Well, why are all these planes about?" We had wall-to-wall blue sky. We didn't have any heavy rain. We didn't have any high winds or anything.
I remember that.
And the other thing,
it was
of course,
the most
they use
beautiful
is
year. It was the most beautiful year in the last five and a half years. I have to agree with you there totally.
And the other thing they use is a system called HAARP, HAARP. That's the system that causes the high winds that we get. And they'll spray off the coast and blow it inland using HAARP, which is why a lot of the time the wind that we get, it doesn't feel natural. And I can remember last year during the summertime, July time, and we were getting gale force winds in the middle of July. You don't get gale force winds in July. That's an autumn, spring sort of period of time, not in the middle of the summer. And it was hard. It's this system called HARP. So it's a combination of what they're spraying, HARP system, and also apparently a lot of the commercial ships, a lot of the major shipping lines. I don't mean like P&O people. I mean the cargo shipping. They use those also for the same purpose. It's
That's-
if you know for what, obviously, take a look at the weather forecast and just see what they've got forecast in a week's time, and you'll
Yeah.
see a couple of days before they'll be out and they'll basically manufacturing it, and you can see them
Well,
doing it. And
as-
and like I say,
That's
it
right.
spreads out. They blank out the sun, which is deliberate to stop us getting vitamin D. The list is endless. But just watch them.
We've just had a comment in there from Mark Anthony saying, would a vapor trail linger for hours and gradually spread out across the sky if it was just condensation? No, it wouldn't, is the simple answer to that. So the conversation that I've been having with Mr. Von Kurt recently, because my biggest thing, right, is that aeroplanes can't just come across the sky and spread something like a disease, or you can create clouds. That is something that has been done since the 70s. Definitely, we've got instances of it down here in Cornwall.
What about Lynmouth in 1952, as Jojo Gizmo says, Research Project Cumulus, rather, 1952. They've been doing this since the end of World War II. In Lynmouth, there was a massive disaster, and the RAF admitted it was a weather modification.
Yeah, they did
wrong.
that in Cornwall as well. The first flood at Boscastle was actually an RAF experiment. So I'm not saying that this can't be done. I'm not discrediting anything. All I'm saying is that if you can track a plane on your mobile phone, it will be so everyone that's got a mobile phone, you can download the app and you can track any commercial flights that are going over the sky. Just the very fact that there's a trail left behind them isn't down. The point I guess I'm trying to make is that it isn't down to the commercial flights that are going across the sky. It may be something that's already been seeded there that they are flying through. I.e., silver iodine. It would be. Look, these guys are taxed to the hilt to keep these airlines going. The idea they have to plan the amount of fuel they take on board compared to the amount of luggage that they take on board. So, just to clarify, literally, just to clarify, the idea that commercial airlines are somehow involved in this insidious plot. And I'm not saying there isn't an insidious plot, but the vapor trails left from these commercial airlines, if they're flying through something like silver iodine, is my understanding, that will create a persistent contrail, i.e. a cloud. So it looks like they're switching it on, switching it off. And we're going to get into this in about a month's time on the show, because I've got a guy who's seriously into aviation. I've got a guy who's not too far away right now who has studied the conspiracy side of this. And I've also got a guy who has studied the silver iodine side of things. The guy who's seriously into aviation will tell you flat outright, there is no way that you would consider paying all the taxes you do to run as an airline, as well as taking on all the passengers, all the luggage, calculating your fuel, and then expect to take something else on board in order to spray something up in the atmosphere. It would just be a loss leader.
But then you've got the likes of the Bowler Hat farmer, for example, who's been talking to farmers across the country who've said that the soil is literally filled with aluminium, which is
that's not coming from commercial aircraft, is what I'm saying. It's coming from something else that you cannot track, because if you can track it and it's an official thing, not forgetting what I just said, you can't even track private like jets. So if people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates want to fly over on a jet, you can't track that. But if you want to track a commercial airline, and I'm not listen, Paul, I'm not taking away from anything that you're saying. All I'm saying is that these commercial airlines are maybe flying through something that's already been put there in order that the clouds are seeded from their vapor trails.
there's something weird going on. We can all agree on that, I believe. And I think that um, with what I've noticed is like black vapor trails with like shreds coming off of them. And that's weird. That's very weird. But what I was told is that these airlines, these cheap budget airlines, the government is subsidising them, and they're mixing something with the fuel. Now I don't know
But
any more than that.
I don't understand how a jet engine would run efficiently if you would. So, well, I'm going to get an expert on, or not an expert, quote unquote, but I'm going to get someone on that knows a lot about aviation on in about a month's time, who's going to go over the logistics of that. And also, I'm going to get on Mr. Von Kurt, who's very up on the whole cloud seeding, silver iodine, all that kind of thing. None of the people that we will be getting on the show are dismissing anything you're saying, Paul, at all. It's just, people look up at commercial airlines and go, oh, look, there's a chemtrail. And it isn't necessarily coming from that airline. It's coming from the exhaust. It's being produced in conjunction with something else that's up there from the exhaust fumes that these jetliners are exhausting.
Yeah, Alice Gorgeous is just sorry, Paul. Patrick, carry on. Sorry, mate.
I was just gonna say you do know a thing or two about airplanes. Probably more than most people. I'll have to say, because I've talked with you before, because we play this we used to play this video game called War Thunder, which is all these old World War II era airplanes, and you're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to that sort of thing and the history of these avionics and stories, because you've studied a lot of that throughout time. So I just wanted to mention that.
Well, Alice Gorgeous says, look up that Satan thing on the government website. And she's gone on to say there are lots of pilot whistleblowers.
Well, we had the issue in Dubai, didn't we, where they had, was it 3 or 4 months worth of rain drop in 24 hours, and at that point there was no way they could hide from it anymore, and they had to admit that they were cloud seeding.
Yeah, absolutely. Cloud seeding is definitely a thing. It's been a thing for a long, long time.
Well, the Israelis used to do that, and they're supposed to be world leaders in it. But I know that, the Balkan Wars, there was an item in Nexus magazine, and a chap who lived in Serbia said there was something very strange, whereas all the states around Serbia, everything was perfectly okay. But the clouds would come along and separate and go round Serbia and then join up the other side.
That is odd. That is odd.
And they said it's just not normal. It's not normal.
Anyone look up silver iodine? That's all I'm just going to say. Is if you look up silver iodine, it's an interesting. It's not a newfound thing for me, but some of the aspects of it and how little of it you need is actually quite interesting when it comes to, if all you need is a say 50 or 100 commercial jetliners to fly through that little cloud, and you will see the effect that is being produced. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's not commercial airlines that are, because they are taxed to the hilt. They are literally taxed to the hilt. So it's not commercial airlines that are putting this stuff up there. It's the stuff that potentially they're flying through.
But of course, the other side on that is that who owns the airlines, and that's bound to be ultimately somebody like BlackRock, who own pretty much everything. So they've got the money to burn, if you'll pardon the pun.
Not with passengers on board. Literally, when you look at what like cloud seeding aircraft do, not just the little flares that produce the silver iodine, but if you wanted to pollute the expanse of airspace that's up there, you would need tanks upon tanks upon tanks. You wouldn't have room for passengers or luggage or anything else. You would need tanks upon tanks of stuff. So
you would need something like a C-130 loaded up.
Yeah, or at least a DC-10, like they used to use the DC-10s for refueling over the Falklands, that were just literally a fuselage full of fuel tanks. You would need. Everyone looks up at the clouds and they think, "Oh, that's a long way away." And as soon as you get to 32,000 feet in an aircraft and you look out the window, you think, "Flipping hell, those clouds are a long way away." There's an awful lot of air up there to pollute, and there are vortices and there are winds at different levels going in different directions, and the dispersion entailed is absolutely phenomenal. So one of the biggest things is aeroplanes flying over and us all getting sick. I don't buy that personally, because there is no way you can drop something at 30,000 feet and expect it to land below where you are. There's just no way.
What about HARP, though?
HARP's a different matter, because you're looking at high frequency radio waves bouncing off the ionosphere to produce things different. HARP is a completely different thing. Where it's very different to cloud seeding.
Something is going on, though. There's definitely something going on.
There is, yeah.
Well, there is definitely something going on when you look at what happened in 2020. We had a lockdown on the 20th of March, and we had blazing sunshine for the whole year. Literally, I had the best suntan that year ever.
But there were still flights. There were still aeroplanes going across, because I used to see them.
Not as many, though, because
but if they were still doing the same thing, I mean, if they did it at night, for example, like they do a lot of the times now, they could still have got away with it, because most people wouldn't have even noticed, because they'd be asleep. But they didn't.
There'd be very few commercial flights to seed those areas of silver iodine.
So what are these lines? What exactly are these lines? Because they're there for ages, and they dissipate.
Yeah,
and make
they
sort of
dissipate
white
and
smog.
turn into cloud. Yes, yeah, and I've got into conversations with Mr. Von Kurt recently where I've dismissed what he's saying, and then so we've been on a lot of turnarounds recently. But these persistent contrails, if they're flying, not to forget that the amount of air travel that we've got now between now and the 1940s, where aviation really started to become a thing in the 1940s, the amount of commercial flights that are up there now are producing that much more pollution, and some of it is a simple case of osmosis, in the respect that moisture or water molecules will cling magnetically, if you like, to other particulates in the air, and we've got that many more. The air is far more polluted. That doesn't take away from cloud seeding and what Paul is saying about, and what yourself is saying about contrails, or I refuse to call them chemtrails, because they're not. But the contrails latching onto other things, and more through the basic process of osmosis, more and more moisture being attracted in that direction and creating these sheens that we see across the sky, which does stop the sun's flow to the earth.
But then let me put this one then, because 2 or 3 years ago we went over to the coast, over at Sheringham on the east coast, and we were watching aircraft coming in there, and the trails would literally just start just before the beach, and you could watch it, and it was as though they were literally physically starting them as the land was approaching, or as they were approaching the land.
Yeah, but that's atmospherics, really. It's down to the density of the atmosphere. So when aircraft get lower, you'll see like contrails and stuff appear off the tips of the wings, because there's that much friction caused that you will get those contrails and stuff come off the tips of the wings and the tail, etc., because that's just how it works. Air is denser when you get lower to the ground. The air is an awful lot thinner. You're at 32,000 feet, which is where we're talking about these contrails persisting.
So what temperature do they need to be at to stay there? I'm playing a bit of devil's advocate here. So
It's not a case of that. It's what particulates are in the air for them to cling to.
Well, look at Mount St Helens. Now, when that blew its top, I believe, in 1980, in 1981, we had the worst winter for years, really cold. And the reason why is because so much ash went into, and remember where Mount St Helens is, it's right over the west coast of America. And it affected European weather. And we had the coldest winter ever because the ash had gone right up into the atmosphere and had blotted out the sun. So it got cooler. Now, how are they getting these particulates into the air? What's happening? How are they doing it? Any ideas?
I'll
And
put my 10 pence across. My understanding is one of the airports that's being used is East Midlands Airport, which is a big freight hub. But it's possible they're using freight cargo planes for that. But there'd have to be a lot of, from what I've, and you can watch them. As I've watched them make the weather. I've sat at work and watched them make the weather. I've sat here and watched them do it. So unless they're using a lot of cargo planes, which if they're doing that at night, then maybe that's the case. But I certainly know what I've seen and witnessed.
Right.
Yeah, I know, and Paul. I'm not seriously. I'm not. I've not come on air to diss what you're saying. I've literally come on to thrash it out. Some of it.
Well, let's get to the root of the problem. Something is happening. Now, what is happening and why are they doing it? And I actually think it's used in warfare. I really do.
I think so as well. I think that they purposely create clouds in various places to dull the weather for people.
There's also, and there is putting parts of the jigsaw together. It's still on about the weather, even though I'm going back to World War II. Russia I think it's 1941, had the worst winter on record. And it's the same year that Pentagon was constructed. And Mr. H, if you speak to, what's her name now? I can never remember her name. But anyway, Mr. H said at that time that there's something demonic about this weather. It's never been like this, so bad, so poor. And they reckon there was something to do with witchcraft was involved, or Masonic witchcraft, or whatever. And if you look at the Masonic victory of, is it World War II? I think it is. That goes into that. Now, could it be something far-reaching that we just don't understand that they're doing with the weather? Because it is an incredible weapon if you can control the weather. I mean, look at this oil terminal that's been bombed in all around near the Middle East. There's like black rain coming down, and it's blotted out the sunshine. So, what's going to happen there? That's an ecological disaster that's happening. So,
do you remember when we had all that heavy snow in? When was that? Was that end of January? We had three days of continuous.
You did. We didn't here in southeast. But
that was to keep people indoors, and that again was manufactured to the. They want. I can't remember what was going on. But there's something that they wanted the majority of people off the streets, basically in their homes. So they manufactured this weather to turn up for those 3 days, and it took 3 or 4 weeks of heavy rain and so on for it to all melt away. Normally, if you get natural snow, once you get a bit of sunshine, you get a bit of rain, it washes it away. Our car park, where they'd ploughed it into a pile, it was sat there for 3 or 4 weeks still, and it wasn't melting, it was just sitting there. So whatever was in it obviously wasn't just snow, wasn't just water.
Have you seen people in America also catching lights of snow? They've actually got
I haven't seen
they've got a handful of snow. They flicked a lighter and it's caught light. So there's something in it. But what, we just don't know. But what is this? I mean, Bill Gates wants to blot out the sun. Why? What is wrong with the man?
To make us more ill, because we need vitamin D to keep us alive and healthy.
Do you remember about 20 years ago when the sun was very, very burning? Do you remember that? And they said it's to do with the ozone layer. And it was really intense. We don't get it as intense as it used to be. So there's something weird going on. Do you remember that intensity, Maleficus, about 20 years ago?
Oh, 20 years. You're going back a long way. You're going back a long way, old boy.
Yes.
My son would have been 4 years old at that point. I'm just trying to think. I think the hottest summers, the hottest summer I can remember would be 1984.
Minus
That was the year-
76.
No, 1984. 1976, I wouldn't remember because I was still gestating at that point, and my mother was suffering because that was a very, very hot year. So I was born in 76. I was born April 76. So
Good year.
she remembers.
Happy birthday coming up.
Happy birthday coming up.
So
Yeah,
you are...
I'm going to be 50. Yes, I'm going to be 50.
Let me know what it's like. Will
You're
you're
Aries.
as well.
No, sorry, you're no, hang on, you're not Aries. Yes, you are Aries.
I am Aryan. Yes, that's correct.
Yes. I'm Terras, the bull. It's full of bullshit.
Billy Big Balls. Yeah, I remember the joke. So I've just posted a few links in the chat there that Mr. Von Kurt has put past my way, and I'm just going to go back and find the other video that he's sent me. Just look, this is not me necessarily being devil's advocate or anything. I'm just stumbling through this information the same
we're discussing, and we're coming to now. I've learned something from you now about these lines. I called them chemtrails, but I'd never seen. The first time I've seen these lines on this in the sky was in 2009, and I was walking along. I thought, "What the hell's all that?" And when I got home, my neighbour was looking up, thinking, "What's that?" But now people don't seem to notice them.
No, the thing is, like, if you look back to World War II, like my studies on World War II, when they were doing the high aviation flights over Germany to take photographs and stuff, you got to a certain height and you couldn't help but leave a contrail, which would alert the Germans to the fact that you were there, but you were so high they couldn't scramble fast enough to do anything about it. So they were free to go about their business. So contrails have always been a thing. Stripes in the sky have always been a thing, but these persistent stripes in the sky that seem to spread out and turn into a haze haven't always been a thing.
Could it be the fuel? Something they've altered the fuel? Some sort of
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, it could be down to the fact that there is that much particulate pollution in the atmosphere that, as I said, through osmosis, etc., that these moisture particles gravitate towards other moisture particles. That's just what happens. Hence, if you drop your mobile phone in a puddle, folks, or down the toilet, and you'd whip out the battery and stick it in a bag of rice, osmosis will draw all the moisture out of your phone. It's the same process. When you take into consideration things like silver iodide, which is a new one on me, which actually attracts these moisture particles, and you need very little of it to spread through the atmosphere to actually, for an aircraft to fly through it, and these moisture particles then spread out because there's so much silver iodide in the atmosphere. That's a different thing. But the point I guess I was trying to make is that if you can see a commercial airline going through the air causing a stripe, it's not the commercial aircraft that is creating the clouds in some sort of weird conspiratorial way. It's something else that may have already been put there.
That's interesting. Also, blue races, the sun used to be yellow. It is now white.
Yeah, I agree with that one as well. It's a lot brighter. It seems to have toned down a bit now, but it's not that we see it very often to be able to check it anymore.
Come on, boys. You shouldn't look at the sun. It's bad for your eyes.
It's all right first thing in the morning and late at night. That's the time to look at it. When the sun's just going down, you've got that beautiful sort of sunset.
Orange haze. Yeah.
Orange haze. And I tell you
Apparently, it's
something.
not. Apparently, it's not bad for your eyes. Apparently,
Yeah.
looking. I've tried it a few times, looking at the sun, just briefly, and apparently it's good for your eyes. Putting sunglasses on apparently is the worst thing you can do.
Oh, I agree with you. They reckon that sunglasses. I'm not a doctor, and this is what I've read. So check this out for yourself, folks. But I was reading that when you put sunglasses on, your eyes regulate your body.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And if you put sunglasses on, there's more incidence of skin cancer because your eyes are getting the wrong signals. You're thinking you're in this dull area, but you're not. You're in the sunshine. And I used to wear sunglasses on my bike to stop shit going in my eyes, basically. But I don't now. But seriously, sunglasses are bad for you. That's what I've heard. So
As is sunblock.
Yes.
Sunblock is
Yeah,
also.
sunblock is dreadfully bad for you.
Oh, I got a story about that.
Go on.
When my late father was ill, a doctor came over and he said, remember, he says, if you go out, doesn't matter if it's the winter, put the highest factor sun cream on your hands. Any exposed skin must not be exposed to the sun. Uh-huh. And I don't use anything like that. I mean, what was that man? What planet was he on? The sun is healing. Plants need sun. We all need sun. And apparently, the light, certain levels of light that go through your body that help you to heal your body. And hospitals years ago, they used to wheel people outside. As a regular thing, they'd put hospital beds that were on wheels outside. So when it's a nice day, everybody's outside getting fresh air.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
natural pathogens in the air is also like fresh air is absolutely probably one of the best things for your body. I will say though, Eric, that my father is, he's got skin cancer, which is eventually it's a race. It's a race between the alcohol and the skin cancer, and he's rather hoping that the alcohol will win. I'm sure he's 84 years old. He spent. It's a funny story. I can tell you the story of how he ended up there at some other point. It's a funny story how he ended up there, but he ended up in Aden, serving with 8th Squadron on Vulcan bombers. And
White Man's Grave. That's what said Aden was, wasn't it?
You know, the reason I'll tell you the story. I'll be very brief. So he ended up dating the commanding officer's daughter and going back to the commanding officer's house for a party. And because he'd ended up dating the CO's daughter, he was, I think, literally within a few days, he was on punishment detail and sent over with 8th Squadron. Now, the reason 8th Squadron was a punishment detail is because during World War II, they had evacuated an airbase and left all their ground crew there for the Germans. So,
oh dear, that's good of a minute.
Yeah. So, 8th Squadron was primarily a punishment squadron, and they were stationed over in Aden. And he spent most of his time in Bondi boots and shorts as an aircraft technician, ground technician, working on aircraft. And he is suffering now at the age of 84 from the amount of damage that he as a white guy, he wasn't designed to be out in Aden, right? So he's suffering right now from the amount of damage and he never used sunscreen, contrary to certain emails that I've had from doing shows. From the shows that I've done, I've talked about this on other shows, and I've had a few emails saying he shouldn't have used sunscreen. He never used sunscreen ever. But I remember him when I was very young. I was born in 76, so I remember him in the early 80s with a permatan, wearing a pair of denim hot pants and nothing else, pretty much, as was the fashion back then. And he's suffering now with the amount of damage that's been done to his skin.
Because he's always been out. But my father was in Malta during the war, not all the time, and he got a terrific tan, but he never went down with anything, and he was there.
No, I mean my dad suffers. He does suffer, and I it's. He's
But am I
drinking
right
as
that-
much. He's drinking as much as he can to ensure that the alcohol wins and not the cancer. I'm pretty sure.
Really? But with the big C though, the thing is, am I right in saying that it occurs? The one that's what's the one now that you've got now? That would be for skin cancer. It's I can't think of the word. But am I right? It occurs where the skin isn't in the light; it's in other areas. Am I right there?
For him, he's had bits taken off of his head and his ears, and a few bits taken off of his chest. Bearing in mind, I said that he spent most of his time in shorts and Bondi boots. He's not had nothing taken off of his genitals or anywhere else or off his toes. So it's all been on the bits that have been exposed.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, and I'm not, again, I don't mean to be devil's advocate. I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying. I'm just my life experiences,
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I say, these skin cancers that have occurred for him.
Melanoma is the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
melanoma.
melanoma.
Actually,
These melanoma that have occurred for him have been on the parts of his body that have been directly exposed to the sun, and he never used sunscreen. He preferred to appreciate the sun in all its glory, which is, so.
But mind you, I can wear shorts and lay in the sun all day, which I don't do, but I'll be in shorts on my bike and things like that. And my legs are still as white as a sheet afterwards. For hours and hours and hours, I went to Greece and they're still, they're like the typical English white airy legs. They're just
like me.
On the back of the plane.
Yeah,
you burn and then it all flakes
I don't
off.
even burn. No, I don't burn. I just seriously, I just don't burn. I don't know quite what it is.
You know what it is?
But mind you, I get brown arms and brown head, but it's not my legs don't get it. I don't know quite why.
Do you know what it is? Is that everyone is sat on the beach around Eric and they all get burnt to a crisp because of the reflection.
He's in the shade. Yeah, you need to set the parasol down, Chris.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Stop burning everyone, Chris. That's it.
Now, Aunt Sally, my dad was a strawberry blonde with blue eyes. He also served in Malta with the Navy in World War II. Oh, he must have seen some action then. He must have seen some action.
Bless you, Aunt Sally. I've just read that.
He was always
Yeah.
in the sun, and it didn't get him. The drink eventually did. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that as well.
He wasn't on. I guess he was on the convoys, Operation Pedestal, and things like that, because my dad saw the Ohio being brought because what happened. It got bombed so much. The Ohio, they actually have two tugs, didn't they? Two ships, destroyers, and they acted as steering to steer it in. It limped into port.
That was the one that was carrying the fuel. Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
And,
remember.
The other...
So it was Jeff Wellham, actually. Jeff the boy Wellham, was in command of a squadron which took off from one of the aircraft carriers, and they didn't have a bullet between them. They were carrying cigarettes in their wings because they're short of cigarettes on Malta, sir.
Well, my dad didn't smoke, so it didn't bother him. But there's one thing, I've said this on previous shows, I'm probably boring people with it. If it wasn't for Palestine, I wouldn't be here. It's doubtful I'd be here, because a ship loaded with Palestinian chocolate that came from Palestine actually managed to get through the gauntlet, and it limped in to port to Malta, and the men were rationed to a small piece of chocolate. I think it was 2 or 3 little squares, and that stopped my dad from dying from malnutrition. It kept him going. So that's why I've got a very soft spot for Palestine, because I probably wouldn't be here speaking to you now if it wasn't for Palestine. So there we go. But but
what do you think about the? Oh, I was just going to ask. Go ahead, Anorak. I'm going to kind of change the subject somewhat.
That's okay, gents. Go ahead, Paul. Go on, mate. or Patrick,
Yeah, I was
doesn't matter.
just going to say
Yeah.
that.
Or Patrick,
Yeah, I was
doesn't matter.
just gonna say, you were saying about the colours and how our skin, like with the sun and that sort of thing, and that's that the effect of light on our skin is also down to the colour of the clothes that we wear and so on. 'Cause I've said before about this kinesiologist I went to see, and he was saying that we're all a different particular body colour, and that body colour can be affected by the colour of the clothes that you wear and so on and so forth. Just thought I'd chip that in.
That's
The
an
light we
interesting one.
emit.
And
That's an interesting one.
and Sonny's got, and I worked with a chap who was also from the West Indies, and he said the same. He says even black people get sunburn. I had a Jamaican friend that told me she'd been sunburnt many times. Yeah, and I had a mate of mine I worked with, and he was from West Indies, but I think he was born here. His parents are from the West Indies, and he had to watch it when he went into the sun. He'd get sunburned.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Same. I went to school with a guy. My son's named after him. Actually, my son Luke is named after him. I went to school with a guy called Luke, who his mum was white, but his dad was very black. And whenever he was obviously a black guy, but when he got in the sun, he went almost blue.
Really?
He used to get that sunburn. Yeah. So he always used to try and avoid the sun.
Yeah, it's and I think it's. But was he born here or was he born in the West Indies? Well,
he was born here.
That's it.
And his mum was white, as I say. His mum was white.
But the thing is that's interesting. But what's this about my legs? People didn't put sunglasses on because of the sun, but because of dazzling effect of Eric's legs. It's not a pretty sight. I've got spindly legs, you see, airy, spindly legs.
That's why everyone got sunburned. It had nothing to do with the sun. It was the pure reflection off of Eric's legs.
That's right. That's right. When I'm on my bike, you see, people go, bloody hell. What the hell's that? I have to put sun visors down. You know,
because you do realise that Chris went on one of those little roundabout things, you know, where you spin round.
Yeah.
And the ships out of sea could see it. They were saying, "Why is there a lighthouse on now?"
That's just Eric turning around. That's what it is.
But it's really weird that they just do not go. Rest of me goes. I mean, I get quite a tan on my face, my arms, but not my legs. I don't know quite why. It's weird.
Yeah, because you haven't exposed your legs to it. That's what it is. I mean, I'm a gardener, and I've spent a lot of time working in trousers and a t-shirt. So my arms and my head, instantly, as soon as I get in the sun, I'll go like a swan vesta, and then I'll just tan. But the rest of my body, because it's not been used to being in the sun, because I don't like getting me top off, or I'm not fat or anything, but because I don't like getting me top off and all that kind of thing. And I don't like working in Speedos. My legs and my body don't tan as easily. It burns first and then goes back to being white.
Well, I assure you that I do not wear the cycling gear when I go cycling, and I haven't got. I haven't got a cucumber, a cucumber and 2 onions shoved down the front of me. So, those things that cyclists wear. So no, I'm a jeans and t-shirt person myself.
Are you not spandex Eric then? You're not spandex Eric.
No, not
Paul,
spandex
you're on the
Eric.
wrong show,
It must be something else. I really about the gents in the Waltham Abbey then. Only joking.
Yes, I guess, Patrick, in America you get the spandex blokes with their cycles, or do you get? Or they run off the road?
Yeah, sometimes.
It's not a pretty sight, is it?
They're short shorts that are so short.
Yeah,
look like underwear.
It's indecent.
Yeah. It's indecent. Really. You're right. We're a bit more modest here.
What's this? Mike Mantis says, "My legs make Johnny Winters look dark."
Don't worry, I mean, I look like a polar bear as well most of the time, to be fair.
Eric
see why
wears his
those
cycling
Arab-
gear when he goes to bed. You're sorry, you're going to say.
Oh, you could see why those Arabs wear the long gowns and the headdress to protect them from the sun.
Yeah, don't forget
Yeah.
also the Arabs have got the sun being reflected up from the sand, which is basically
too.
silica,
Yeah.
which is like glass, isn't it? So it just reflects the sun. I know that I spent a number of years working on golf courses, designed a couple actually, but I spent a number of years working on golf courses, and I actually used to order special safety goggles for the guys that were doing all the strimming around the bunkers, because the reflection of the sun up off of the sand was actually really damaging to your eyes. They'd get home from work at night and have headaches and stuff. I ended up ordering special safety glasses that were tinted. So
Yeah,
Well,
the sun's a very powerful thing.
It's like in Malta.
If it weren't for the fact that they had so much oil in places like Arabia, it'd be a good place for all of the solar panels that they try and put up everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
But
in
Be a
Malta,
perfect place.
people have bad eyesight. A lot of them go blind, apparently, because of the white rock everywhere. It's so bright. It's absolutely pure white rock.
I guess. Yeah. I guess
It's like snow in wintertime, you go snow blind.
Now, Eric, Mark Anthony says, Eric, please tell me you don't wear a pair of Jesus creepers with those white legs.
What are Jesus creepers?
Oh, they're sandals.
Oh.
Jesus boots, they call them. But actually, I
only
don't
with
actually.
socks.
Oh, yeah, socks and sandals. Yes, that's definitely. There's actually a YouTube channel called Socks and Sandals. But no, actually, I'm barefooted most of the time in summer. Seriously. And even on my bike, I've cycled barefoot.
There's a song about that, isn't there? Barefooted.
No,
when you say barefoot, is it? They're not polar bear feet, are they? That would explain the white legs, then, you see.
Well, we have someone in chat usually named Barefoot.
Oh, Barefoot Foreigner, isn't it? That's it. And Alice Gorgeous says, do Arabs suffer from eyesight issues then? I don't know.
No, because
Maybe
I think
they're
brought up in that. Look, you're all sort of your body is your body is aware of where your genes are aware of where you've been brought up. I think that's a really important.
I agree
thing.
with you. I agree. And this is why I think that food should be as local as possible.
Absolutely.
And get things in season. If strawberries are not in season, you don't eat strawberries. You just eat when they're in season, as we should do. And the reason that people had fruit in the autumn is to build up the fat for the winter.
Yeah, well, there's a very good reason why a lot of African tribes have dark skin, because it protects them from the sun.
Correct.
That's
right.
It's down to the. Yeah.
And going back to the West Indian people. Or people, with West Indian parents who are born here. That's the thing. That they are. I can explain it. They're conditioned for the conditions here, not in West India.
Could it also, like you're saying, with the diet, could that affect those sorts of changes as well? Like if you ate more of the local diet, you would eventually become accustomed to the same types of weather conditions as the
assimilate.
Assimilate.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I'll tell you something. They reckon that if you're born in the northern hemisphere, only have northern hemisphere food, and likewise in the southern hemisphere, because you look at potatoes. Now they're supposed to hemisphere, and they are from the poison ivy family, I believe. They're not really that good for you. And potatoes, you've got to be very careful. Potatoes, if there's any green on them, that's poisonous.
Well, just ask the Irish. Just ask the Irish about the potato famine.
Oh yes. Well, as I said the other day, was it why the Irish have got potatoes and the Arabs have got the oil? It's because the Irish got first choice. Oh, I think we go for the potatoes, Mick. Yes, it's going to get a lot of money from them. But Alice Gould just said that barefoot, Eric is the Zola Bud of the cycling world. Well, it's funny. Actually, I've stopped doing that now because
who's the Mary Decker of the cycling world?
God knows. But no, it's funny. The skin on the bottom of my feet is like leather. And because I believe in earthing, I like earthing, and I mean I walked around a postal letter last year, I think it was, and I forgot my shoes. I got to the post box. Oh, I haven't got any shoes on. The thing is, you do watch the floor more because it's not very pleasant if there's any dog doo doos or anything like that around. But I was going to say
3-pin plugs, 3-pin
Or
plugs,
glass.
glass, yes. But I actually had some acupuncture. And Dr. Miles Fleetwood, he was trying to distract my attention because he was going to put these needles into my soles of my feet. You see, and I'm laying there, and he pushed the needles in. And he said, "You didn't flinch." I said, "Oh, have you put them in?" Because there's another patient he's got. He puts a needle in. He goes, "Ah!" Because, as I say, the soles of my feet are so leathery. So, because as I say,
funny that though, because you'd think with the skin being so much more leathery, that the nerve endings would be more reactive underneath.
Yeah, but they're not.
But yeah.
Because I walk around. I mean, I go out my garden. I'm walking on sort of. I go out if I'm working on my car. I won't wear any. I'll be on the drive, and it's rough concrete and that, and your feet just get hardened up to it.
So, are you a hobbit in real life?
Yeah, I'm a hobbit in real life. Yeah,
I've got pictures of Fred Flintstone walking down to go and post a letter.
Yeah, he doesn't have an engine. He's just got holes in the bottom of his car.
It runs underneath.
I've actually, apparently, I looked this up. I have actually driven my car barefooted, and you're allowed to do it as long as and it's safer than flip flops.
Oh, it's much safer. It's much safer. Yeah.
As long as and it's not illegal. Seriously, it's not illegal to drive your car without shoes. There's nothing against it, but it's dangerous with the bike. Don't do that anymore because if you have an accident, your toes can get crumpled up in the chain. So,
worse still, your big toenail gets caught on your front tire while it's travelling upwards. That's nasty.
Yes, that could happen, I suppose. But okay, so I do.
Do you know one of the worst horror stories I ever heard as a child was? Do you remember back in the day, like little children's parks used to have slides, and they were made with polished sheet metal, weren't they?
Yes.
You remember? And they used to have the little gaps in between.
Yes.
And they banned them in the UK because so many kids had gone down backwards on their front, and their big toenail had caught in one of the grips, in one of the grooves. It just makes me cringe. It's one of those things that makes you think, "Oh God, no!"
They're all fluffy these days. I mean, when I used to go on the slide back in the day, unless my mum was out trying to get rid of me or something, but at the bottom of the slide would be tarmac or concrete or broken glass, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
You're trying to get rid of me? Go on the slide again, will you? What? I've been on it 50 times.
I tell you something, the slide near where I lived in the park, excuse my language, stunk of stale piss. The reason why the kids used to pee down it. So you think, oh, it's been raining. No, it hasn't. So I was peeing down the slide. Why? I do not know.
Well, look, apparently it's good for you. I've been reading The Water of Life recently.
What, peeing down a slide?
No. Well, The Water of Life is a treatise on urine therapy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The idea that urine is a waste product of your body is apparently null and void, because actually it's living matter in stasis, stem cells, hormones, sort of.
It's basically blood plasma. And when a baby is is in its mother's womb, the whole amniotic fluid is essentially urine from both the mother and the child, the blood filtered. So all sorts of growth hormones. The drug companies actually take the urine and make all sorts of pharmaceuticals from it.
That's correct.
Not to mention such things like they'll take horses and they'll take horse urine and they'll make eye drops from it, like the saline solution you get with your contact, for people with contacts or eye drops, and all sorts of other medical things they use for it. The women's lotion. You look on anything that has
oh crikey, face creams
acid
and all sorts. Yeah.
Is that why every time? Is that why when I walk to work and I go past a hedgerow, I have the urgency to jump over it?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
It depends what's on the other side, I suppose.
Right.
Paul.
If you suffer from anaphylactic shock from a bee or wasp sting, what you can do, and the Aborigines did this when they got bitten by a snake, you get urine and you put a few drops under your tongue, and your glands apparently will look into it, and it's less likelihood you can get it. You'll get anaphylactic shock.
Okay, so I want to bring everyone's attention to a book called The Water of Life by John W. Armstrong. It's a treatise on urine therapy and the amount of ailments that he has actually cured, and I'm going to say cured, from this process is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm going to say that most of everyone's going to turn their nose up at it, because obviously urine is one of those things that you just throw down the toilet, isn't it? But if I say that it's living matter in stasis and that he's cured things like breast cancer through people literally fasting, drinking only water and drinking only their own urine and using their same urine on a poultice to wrap around the wounded area, he has had pretty much 100% success. So
really,
John W. Armstrong, The Water of Life, really go and have a look, because most most pharmaceutical companies use urea or uric acid as the basis for most of their products.
Yes, that's true. That is, but there's a famous actress, wasn't there, that used to drink her own wee.
Yeah.
And by the way, Alice Gorgeous says, "Did you say Shelley has a show? Is it on YouTube?" So advertising time.
Shelley's show is not on YouTube. It's on Food for Thought Radio. We are live every Sunday. Every Sunday. We're on Sunday now, aren't we? We're live every Wednesday night, 7 till 9. But you can get a podcast on Rumble, rumble.com/The Shelley Tasker Show. So, yeah.
Does it go out live on Rumble at the same time, or is it afterwards?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We only go out on Radio Soapbox, Holy Land Radio, and Food for Thought. We don't do any video because we're just overcomplicating things. If people want the information, come look for it. It's not. Yeah, we're not throwing ourselves out there because it's just one of those things.
I know what you mean.
People want to find the information, they'll go for it.
And drinking urine, the placebo equal placebo effect? ?
I don't think it's
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a placebo myself. I've not got round to drinking my own urine yet, but I haven't had the need to.
I have. I do it every day. So it's not dead yet, but it's ever since I learned about it, it's very it's quite healing, and you learn about through John W. Armstrong's book. He wrote that in the 1930s. Out of the accumulation of decades of running a clinic out of the UK. He was based in the UK, And I want to find a first edition copy of it, because apparently in the time between the first edition and then later editions, the second edition, they came out with a law in the UK called the 1939 Cancer Act,
That's
where you
right.
couldn't advertise that you cure cancer in any sort of
That's
literature
correct.
without facing prison time, I think.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so
Yeah.
there are a lot of things in there that are very interesting, particularly the one that I was going to point out, because you mentioned snake bites and that sort of thing. Well, another one is gangrene.
Yeah, gangrene, that's a big one in the book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where particularly not only just the drinking part, but also like you were saying, the poultice, or you take like a gauze material and wrap it and soak it.
Really?
And
Can you still get hold of
particularly
this book?
Yes, I've got a fresh copy right here, Eric.
Hang on,
John
can you give
W.
the name?
Armstrong, The Water of Life, and Alice Gorgeous, who's just said, Patrick, no, with a crying face.
Why?
Seriously,
it's
it is
completely natural and free, and you don't have to go to a doctor.
I'm not being funny. Your face creams and everything, it's full of it.
Yeah.
And it's not even human.
I've got to ask a question, Patrick. What's it taste like?
Depends what you eat. It can be anywhere from like water to like one that's stronger.
Is it quite daunting the first time, though?
The first time is daunting, but then go ahead.
I was just going to say, Paul, I just want to say this one thing. I spoke to Bryza a couple of months back, who is an advocate of this, and I asked him, because Shelley was away for the last half hour of the show, and I said, "Now I've got you on your own, Bryza. Can I just quibble you about this whole urine therapy thing?"
Bryzer's who I heard about it from, by the way.
Yeah,
him and Graham Hart.
And he said, "I'll tell you what, mate." He said, "You've tasted worse beers."
Yes, that's a good one. But I mean, I guess you stick to your own. You don't use somebody else's. But what I was going to say,
it's the most freely available.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else.
In the book with husbands treating their own wives with their urine as well.
And their sick beds. Yeah, right.
And I'll tell you something else. If you are dating someone and you want to get rid of them, best to gargle with it before you give them a good night kiss. She'll say, "Bloody hell, he's kissing him. It's like kissing. Smells like a piss." Put it under your arms, deodorant.
But then she'll wake up the next morning and go, "My God, I've never looked so beautiful."
That's right. But no,
sometimes
seriously,
sometimes it's not so bad. It's actually really good. I have to. It sounds weird, but it depends on what you.
Do you feel really good on it? Seriously, do you
okay, I'll tell you. The first time I tried it, it was daunting. Like you said, you asked me if it was.
Is it
daunting.
first thing in the morning? Is it first thing in the morning though?
It doesn't matter. Flow? Anytime for instance, like if you're getting heartburn, instant cure of heartburn. Instant cure. Yeah. That's one thing. If you suffer from any sort of like indigestion and that sort of thing, the moment you feel it and you drink your own urine, it will relieve it immediately.
But ginger does that though.
Yeah. I guess I'd never really taken ginger during heart indigestion.
So if I get heartburn in the middle of the supermarket next time, I might get arrested.
Be discreet. Whip it out.
Throw it in the freezer, piss in the freezer compartment. Yeah.
Take it as an icicle.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time that I tried it, so it was daunting, and it was like, you got this gag reflex kind of thing that you think you're gonna have, but actually what happened the moment that I did it, there's just this warm feeling inside, and it was just amazing. It was just absolutely amazing. Like my stomach had never felt anything so soothing and so warmth giving. And so I definitely, after that first experience, it's like, wow, this wasn't bad. And you can overdo it too, because it's almost like a laxative if you take too much of it, which is a good thing, because it's not good to be constipated. So if you don't want to be constipated, you can measure it out. You don't have to drink every bit. And it's just like, I don't drink it like like every bit of it. Whenever you're starting to feel a little bit low.
Mike Mantis has said, I tried drinking urine. Is it supposed to have a head on it?
Well, I can tell you about that.
If you're eating.
So I need to cut in now. In a couple of minutes' time, we're going to be saying goodbye to Food for Thought Radio, but we'll still be carrying on YouTube, Holy Land Radio, Rumble, and Uncle Tom Combley and all. So in a few moments, we're going to have music coming in, and that'll be Food for Thought Radio we'll be saying goodbye to. But if your wee does fizz, that's a sign of a very mild, it could be candida, which is too much sugar. Yes.
Fizz? What do you mean by fizz? Like carbonated?
Yeah. If it's all sort of bubbles, if it's bubbles on top of your urine, that means you've had too much sugar.
You mean like a foamy head, like
Thank you very much, Food for Thought Radio. And there we are.
I'm so glad.
Your mind, fill up your day. Oink, oink. Smart little bites that brighten your way. You're listening to Food for Thought Radio. You're FFTradio.com. Cluck, moo, oink.
That's it. And let's really say goodbye to Food for Thought Radio. And
can I just say, can I just ask, Paul?
Hello?
Are you still there? Paul,
I'm still here.
this radio show that I'm planning, would you come on and argue your points as well, please? Because what I'm planning on, because obviously we're talking about the chemtrails thing here, but what I'm planning on doing, because this is not my area of expertise at all, but there are a few people around me that have got some expertise on it, and I would like to include you in it if you are up for doing it as a sort of 4-way chat. And I will just act as mediator to make sure that everyone gets no one talks over each other, basically.
We're gentlemen here. We're ladies and gentlemen. You notice we never talk over each other. Sorry, mate, I've just talked over you, haven't I? So carry on, Paul.
As per that example.
No, I'd love to have you on, mate. That would be absolutely excellent. That would be great.
No
Because it would get the only thing that ever stops is honest discourse. And if you dismiss anything, then you're putting things off the table. So I think that it would be great to have you on if you would.
Yeah, let me know. I'll have Chris has got me details and so on.
Yes, that'd be great. And is it all right to pass your email on?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But no, regarding the head on it, if you got bubbles on top of your urine, and it's quite a lot, you've had too much sugar. That's yeast. No, so that's a sign.
That could be. And see, that's one thing too about urine and drinking it, is you taste that sort of whatever it is. If it's bad for you, usually that will show up in your because it's basically your blood. Your urine is your blood plasma, and anything that you eat that you absorb into the blood, and it expels as an excess into your bladder and then out the urinary tract. And you can tell what type of foods not to eat based on how the flavor ends up being. Because if you eat something and it's just completely disgusting, when you taste your urine, it's usually because you ate something then you probably shouldn't have, because your body's telling you, hey, this isn't good for you. So it's a natural way of deciding what foods are good for you and what aren't, because you get to see the end result of it in your blood, and the flavor of it depends on that, and the color. You become more attentive to what's going in and out of your body as a consequence, just
But
naturally.
then, don't you run the
you
risk
pick it up.
if you've had something that your body doesn't want, and then it goes into your urine, and then you drink it again? Aren't you putting
Well,
that back into your body? Because I mean,
you
I'm
are
like,
to an extent. Now, what I think happens with that is your body actually adjusts when you introduce it back in. Like, this is the idea that Eric was talking about the anaphylactic shock that you would get if you were allergic to bee stings or if you were bitten by a poisonous animal of some sort.
Yeah.
Where your body, the thyroid adjusts itself based on what's introduced back in through the mouth.
So what was interesting, partway through the book, I was reading about a lady that was really very, very seriously ill. And he talked about the fact that her urine was passing as thick and almost pussy. Right now, that sounds disgusting. And he still got her to drink it. And within a week of this process where he got her to fast and drink only water and her own urine, which was pussy and like thick and not very nice, and she found it very difficult to pass it. Within a week of doing so, the urine passed freely and was clean and was so. I think the idea being is that it's your body's process of it's your body's way of processing things, and therefore creating the very thing that you need to. So I'm not being funny, right? After reading this book, I'm being really honest. After reading this book, I haven't drunk my own urine to date. I've peed on my own toenails to get rid of toenail fungus, and it worked. I've peed on my hands after doing work with roses, which were burning for days. And then the next week I went back and I had to carry on working with said arbor, which entailed working the roses around the arbor and I was ripped to shreds. I peed on my hands and within half an hour, my hands stopped burning.
Yep.
So I think this is the very idea that your body creates the things that you need to heal yourself. And I've not had other than that, I'm not ill, or at least I hope I'm not. But if ever I get sick, like to the point where somebody says, oh, looks like you might have this, or looks like you might have that, the first thing I'm going to do is start drinking my pee. I'm sorry. Because it's the first, most reliable thing that I've come across.
Perfect medicine.
But before you get to that point, though, I mean, I'd take vitamin C and vitamin D every day, and I'd change my nutrition. I've talked to Chris a bit about this, and by changing what I eat, I think has improved my health no end. And I still think that the sneezing. So if you have something to eat or drink, and then you sneeze or you cough on the back of it, that's the body saying I don't like that. So I think that's where it all starts, is by. And I was just looking at the Mike Mantis has put on there about asparagus. I'm not sure I'd want to drink my urine after I've had some asparagus.
Yeah, well, it's the same as pineapple, isn't it? Same as pineapple.
Really? Yes. But Aunt Sally said, I'd like to know what Dr. Miles Fleetwood or Miles thinks of drinking one's own piss, Chris. Well,
yeah,
I'm
I would as well.
I'm going to ask him because I'm going to see him on Wednesday. I'm going to top him up with some medicine, and I'm hoping if it's sunny to do me film.
You know what you want to do, Chris? You want to take a bottle. You want to pee in the bottle and take it with you. And if he says, "Yeah, it's fine," say, "I'll try that
then." Well, that's another part of the book is that he says that fermented urine, if you've got like a seeping wound and things like that, if you use it on a poultice and dress your skin with it, then it gets rid of those things. So I'm not in a position at the moment to argue with that because I've not actually had to try it. But I've got to be honest, if I came down with something horrible, and we all know what horrible means, I would be quite willing to try that before I went to any big pharmaceutical company to try their methods.
Oh yes.
If you're on about the big C, I'd be doing things like dandelions, dandelion root tea, and so on and so forth. That's
Oh
one of the
yes.
best things for curing in the
And
first place. Nettle tea.
That's right. And also, cleavers are supposed to be like eating cucumbers. So I was told. I haven't tried that yet.
What
But
are
that's a wild
cleavers?
plant. Cleavers are those plants that stick to you. They stick.
Sticky buds. What we
Yeah,
call
they call them sticky, or sticky willy is another one they call it.
Sticky willies.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Again.
Yeah, but that's I think that's how Velcro was invented, and they stick to it. But apparently, it tastes like cucumber. But and Aunt Sally said next subject will be tucking into nice juicy turds. Now we're not talking about McDonald's burgers.
Because
no.
That's the whole point in the book. Like if you get hold of a copy of the book, you can get it on archive.org if you want to go and look into it.
Or welib.org.
Yeah, John W. Armstrong, The Water of Life, a treatise on urine therapy. And as I say, I've not tried anything in the book yet, really, other than peeing on my toenails and peeing on. Yeah,
like I
Patrick
said, I found out about this back in, I think it was like late 2017, 2018, when Graham and Breiser did that before Graham was put away in the chicken shack.
Well, I listened to that show that you. I remember the garden I was working in when you sent me that show, and I went and listened to it, and it was absolutely outstanding. I have to say. But the point being is that everything that your body produces as waste comes out of one particular area, and the other area. Look, let's not forget if back in the day, if doctors wanted to find out if you were diabetic, they would get you to pee in a cup, and they would personally taste your own urine to find out if it was sweet.
Yeah. No, that's what they did. And then back in the old centuries ago, that's how doctors would operate.
That's how doctors, So look, and the first thing they teach, I'm going to say again, like the first thing they teach you in survival, if you are part of the military, RAF, whatever, any part of the services, if they teach you basic survival standards, and that is, if you are caught somewhere without water, it's absolutely fine to drink your own pee to replenish your body's salts and waters.
And I believe that we actually absorb a lot of water through our skin from the air. That's one thing I've come to a belief in, learning about this. Because you could last a long time not having to drink water if you had to.
But did you know how this is serious? If you're stuck at sea and you have not, there's water, as they were saying, water everywhere, not
a drop to drink. Yeah.
But what they would do is actually administer the seawater as an enema to keep you alive, to save on water, and you're going up backside. Apparently, it filters all the salt out. And that's a survival technique.
I hope that never happens.
Yeah. So, so get a tube, shove it up your bum, and then pour some seawater in it. But has anyone tried eating their own shit?
Ick.
No.
Because
that's a waste product. That's what your body is rejecting. Whereas at the other side, that's not what your body is necessarily. Yes, it's rejecting because it's an excess. But if you're ill, for any reason at all, through reading this book, I personally think, as I say, if I came down with anything nasty, the first thing I'm going to resort to is urine therapy.
I think it's also preventative too. And as a laxative, if you drink a lot of it, it's a laxative, and you'll clear out your entire system if you drink it just constantly. If you drink everything that you expel, you'd clear out your whole system within probably a couple days, a few days at least.
Really? Because Hadji says moss is good as a poultice.
Moss?
Because moss, yes. But have you heard of a bread poultice? What they used to do years ago. If you had a splinter, you put some bread, moistened bread, put that over your splinter, and the poultice would draw the splinter out.
Well,
Eric, I love you. I'm a gardener, and I'm getting permanently splinters in my finger. I'm a gardener, but I'm a guitarist, right? So that's probably one of the worst combinations. So I'm going to try that.
You get some of that doughy bread, crappy bread and the stuff that you wouldn't really. That's apparently the bread poultice. They used to do that years ago because my granddad was a greengrocer and they had the barrows and they're always getting splinters off the barrows and things. And they used to put bread poultices on their fingers and things, and draw it out.
Yeah, maybe you need to have that as your little slogan. Maybe secateurs in one hand and a loaf of bread in the other.
Now talking about poo, and Aunt Sally said, I made and ate a chocolate mousse tonight out of avocados. Glad I ate one earlier before this talk of eating shit. No, not eating shit, but drinking wee. But no, if you want to eat shit, all you have to do is just go to a burger bar. I think you can eat shit there, can't you? I mean, that's
go to any fast food outlet. You'll be eating shit.
Yeah. And there's somebody worked out there's not enough cattle to supply a leading burger restaurant. And they said, what is it made up? What it's not actually meat. They reckon it's synthetic stuff.
Well, mold and flies don't go anywhere near it, do they? I mean,
no.
My ex, she got a I think it was a bit of a happy meal or something like that in a jar, and she'd had it 17 years, and there wasn't an ounce of mold on it anywhere.
No, won't be.
It says it all, and people still go to these places and eat this crap.
Well, you look at the list of ingredients in a lot of things, and it's like if it's more than 20 ingredients, you're not eating something natural. And when
like the fries.
Well, it's like bread. Just look at bread and what the ingredients are on most breads you buy in a store. Well, at least here.
So I just have to long time. I just have to agree with Mike Mantis here. All the best people are guitarists. Oh yes.
All the best.
Are you very good at doing intro tunes?
If you'd like, if you tell me what you want, I'll do you an intro tune, Eric.
Classical gas.
There you go.
No, that's
classical jazz.
Gas, G-A-S. Classical gas or gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clapton did a version.
Eric, if you want an intro tune,
yes, please.
Let's.
Mind you, we're all. Yeah, and
let's
also wait for the middle.
Together, like in private, and we'll work out what you want. And
okay, I was thinking in the middle because about 9 o'clock, you have a little tune, So I've got Happy Days Are Here Again, which I'll play over and over and over again, and then in the middle we could say, and yours could come on automatically, playing.
I loved your outro tune. Actually, that was Charlie and his orchestra, wasn't it?
Was it? Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like Charlie and his orchestra.
I love Charlie and his orchestra.
Yeah,
they're one of the best bands ever.
That's right. Yeah.
You're the reason that I know about Charlie and his orchestra. You had me listen to some of that stuff. It was Goebbels' house band for his propaganda.
Yeah, bloody good, weren't
jazz.
they? Yeah. But,
another war, another prophet. We won't get any.
Don't say anymore. You'll get Eric banned.
Yeah. But the fact is, though, that sounds very good. That urine therapy. I'll ask Miles about it. So.
Yeah, tell him about that book. Get a copy of that book. And read
I certainly will.
John
it's probably on PDF.
John W. Armstrong.
No pun intended.
Was it written in the 1930s? Was it written in the 1930s?
Yeah,
it was written just before.
Yeah, really. Yes, it's a bit like what was it? The Old Straight Road by a chap called Watkins. Was it? It's about ley lines. That was written in the 20s. Alfred Watkins, The Old Straight Track or Old Straight Road.
You know how people do blood transfusions in the field in battle and that sort of thing?
No.
I'm of the opinion that urine would work for that in a pinch.
Well, in the Vietnam War, if a bloke got injured, they would pee on the wound. Seriously.
Yeah.
The blokes, his mates would pee on the wound, and that is the only clean water you had in the jungle.
Well, the thing about gangrene, I've known people who have had gangrene and snake bites and that kind of thing, and I wish I had told them about it or known that they had that problem or knew it at the time, because I would really like to find somebody that has gangrene and see if it would help them, because I had an uncle. He was diabetic, and that's another thing with the urine therapy, that you can, according to the book, you can reverse diabetes. And he stepped on a tack at work, and his heel went gangrene, and then doctors came in, amputated the heel, and then
Poor soul.
and ended up having all these other attachments put on his leg because it started to grow. And then he got gangrene from where these crazy surgeons had put in these stainless steel type of exoskeleton type things around his leg. He'd slipped on ice with and opened up wounds, and they got gangrene. It was terrible.
Well, that's one of the biggest things in the book, is that he advocates the fact that anyone going under the knife should not consider it, because it's there's a lot more. After you go under the knife, it essentially creates more problems.
That's right.
Whereas his well, look, I'm not going to labor the point anymore. Just go and look up the book. Go and look it up for yourself.
Oh well, tomorrow morning. And I'll tell you something. My wonky finger. Now, there's no way anybody's going to cut any ligaments on that. And what Miles is giving me is working. Look, it's not as bad as it was. It's getting a lot better. But
wait till you wrap it in your own pee, mate.
I'm going to wrap it in my own pee, and I'm going to put it on carbuncles and all things like that.
Eric,
Doesn't pee.
I'll send you Graham Hart's show that he did on it with Breiser and Casey.
Oh,
Caban.
Thanks.
That's where I found out about allegedly Dave, because that's where.
Allegedly Dave, yes, yeah. He pees on. Doesn't pee work on jellyfish stings, or is it a myth?
Yes,
yeah,
it does. No, it totally works. It totally works.
Anywhere there's inflammation.
Does this mean I could potentially try and use my pee to resolve my hernia?
You could, you could potentially do that, and it might, it's worth a shot.
It's stomach hernia.
If it's a hernia, you're looking at fermented urine and poultices, as well as fasting and drinking your own urine while you fast.
How long do I need to fast for?
Oh, look, I'm not John W. Armstrong. Read the book.
Yeah. He actually had a clinic where he was doing this with people, and he was able to see firsthand what results took place. And some were a matter of days, some were a matter of weeks or months. And it all depended on the severity of whatever was taking place with the person and how they'd gotten into that
Can I ask where your hernia is?
Yes, top of my stomach.
Okay, so that's quite a common one, isn't it? Because of lifting and look, just get the book, have a little read through.
I've ordered it.
See how you go.
I've just ordered it.
That's brilliant, but that it's incredible.
Aretha Franklin, shut up, Mike.
Aretha.
Shut up, Mike. You're not helping.
A little bit.
Yes, could form a piss thing guitar band, the water. Have you ever seen Monty Python, the incontinent race? Well, listen, they're outside now, and their bladders are full, and they're off. Oh, he's off in the bushes.
My favourite one was the Alzheimer's answering machine.
Alzheimer's answering machine.
Hello, this is the Alzheimer's Association answering machine. We are. Hello, this is the Alzheimer's, and it carries on and carries on. It takes about 3 minutes for the sketch to get through, and by the time you get to the end of it, you understand that. Yeah.
And also, I'm actually going to go on to the incontinence website. It's / / // Sorry.
Oh
but
my word.
but no, urine therapy. That's it. Seriously, I know that there's a lot of
I'll
people.
send
do
you
it.
also a documentary. There's a
thanks.
documentary where they talked to. This was done in the 90s. It's kind of like old school type documentary, but they talked to medical people involved in drug making, and in particular making what's called urokinase, which is a drug that they
thanks.
give you during a heart attack
Mm.
or during a stroke. There's like only one drug, and it's derived from urine that that's approved to give people during a stroke, and it comes
Really?
from these porta potties, like at the concert festivals and that sort of thing, or construction sites where you have a urinal and they actually have filters that collect the urokinase protein from the urine, and they sell it to pharmaceutical companies, and it's like $1 billion industry. It's huge. Probably even more than that now. It was $1 billion back then.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
And you could use urine as liquid fertilizer.
Well,
Yeah, that's excellent.
it's the
fertilizer.
first thing that will. It's the first thing that will break down your compost heap. So if you want a decent compost heap, pee on it.
That's what I do, and I'll tell you something else. Mind you, I don't think my neighbours like this seeing me doing it. No, but I'm only joking. But no, seriously, if you put urine, which I've done, in I think it's a small cup of urine into something like 2 litres of water.
Yeah.
Be careful. Do not water near your house, because what will happen is it attract flies in the summer. So seriously, don't do your indoor pot plants with it, even though it doesn't smell. Go, if you've got a long garden, which I've got, I water my plants at the top of the garden, but not at the bottom of the garden with it, because it attracts flies. It swarms of flies, because it's surprising they got incredible.
I've never had that problem when I pee in my
Really?
garden all the time.
I have. It's strange, isn't it?
I suppose it depends where do you live near a river, Eric?
No.
Trees?
Lots of trees, yeah.
Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's.
I'll tell you what, I stop flies coming into my house. Serious. You put you hang a bag up, and you put some copper coins in a bag of water, clear place, and you hang that near your door, and as it glistens in the sun, the flies think it's something predatory. It's going to attack them, and they clear off. It works.
Well, that's kind of like copper sulfate. You spray on like grapevines or any of that sort of thing to keep pests away from eating at the leaves.
Yeah.
Or the fruit.
And also, if you get what is it now? My bike shed is full of spiders, and there's an old wives' tale, which I thought it was. If you put conkers around, spiders don't like conkers. So around the conker season, I collected loads of conkers from a conker tree, put them inside the bike shed. There's less spiders in there now.
What's a conker?
I'm not being funny, Eric. Like, my missus hates spiders. She's an arachnophobe. And we put that practice into protest
as well.
Well, it turned out to be a protest purely because the one bowl of conkers that we had on our bedroom windowsill that we'd use to keep spiders away, there was a flipping spider living in. So
really,
but
these are the big long leggy jobbies.
What you would call a house spider.
Yes.
So one great bit of advice that I can give, as we're on to like chemical problems for or chemical solutions for gardens. If you guys I worked as a greenkeeper for years. And if you guys have any problem with moss on your lawn, so you can buy a bag of iron sulfate, anything ferrous, but iron works the best. Iron sulfate in granular form, mix it up in your watering can with a bit of water and pour it over the moss. You will see it turn black instantly and die off. And if it's a lawn rather than like a patio or something like that, the iron sulfate will carry on there in the ground. The grass will love it, and it will subdue the moss process. So Yeah, if you want to get rid of moss on your lawn, there you go.
I'm got
Sorry,
lawns.
Complete tangent there, but sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in.
That's very interesting.
I was going to chirp in with a spider thing as well, and I think we need to be friends with spiders. I've got one who lives in the corner of my windowsill here, and quite happy. And I get those little spindly cellar spiders that sit in the corners, and they're doing a cracking job.
The harvesters, the harvestmen.
Harvest. That's what I got in my bike shed. Loads of harvest spiders, but I've got one that lives in the wing mirror of my car, and he does a web from the door to the wing mirror. So not wing mirror, door mirror rather. And I think he's had his fortune told because you all travel long distances. He certainly has gone long distances.
Yeah, on a parachute.
Yeah, I mean, I was driving along the other day. And he's got a web on the door going down from the door up to the the door mirror, and they're very strong, those spiders' webs, because I was doing about, I don't know, 60 or 70. The spider's still on the web.
Oh mate, I'm not being funny. Have you ever got together like a cobweb in the corner and twisted it?
No,
because if you twist it and try and pull those fibers apart, my God, it's so strong.
It really
is
strong,
impressively strong. Probably one of the strongest fibers known to man, actually, other than hemp.
That's right. Also, around autumn time, I leave pieces of toilet paper draped over my bath because spiders come down for a drink and they can't get up the bath. So if you put a bit of toilet paper there, they can get up the bath and get away. So they don't really bother me,
That's very good of you.
Well, on the other end's linked to the toilet.
Yeah.
Got you.
This is true. White vinegar kills weeds. Yes, it kills plants as well. It's very good if you do it on a sunny day.
Look,
yes.
I mean, the thing is, you can get like weed killers that are basically based on citronella. What you're really doing is actually just messing with the pH. If you mess with the pH of any soil, you're going to kill the weeds, but they'll come back.
Yes.
So it's a falsehood. For the sake of things, if you've got like serious weeds like dandelions and stuff like that, just dig them out. Don't be lazy. Just dig them out.
And then wash them and eat the roots.
Yeah.
You don't throw them away. You eat dandelions. They're brilliant. You can eat them all year round.
They are. Brilliant things.
Right.
As long as they don't cause nausea.
Do they cause nausea?
They can. In some people. Yeah, in some people.
Yes. I find Keir Starmer gives me nausea. I just only got to see a picture
of him.
Were you
talking about Queer Stalin there? Queer Stalin.
Queer Stalin, yes.
These days.
Yes. Trump. By the way, is that a wig? Does he wear a wig or not? I don't know. That's the question.
I think it's a wig.
Yeah,
I think if the assassination attempt had, instead of clipping his ear, just whooshed that little toupee off, we would have had a lot more fun with his political career.
Do you think he does seem a bit loony now, doesn't he? I mean, that speech that I showed earlier that he gave, that's Looney Tunes. That is not an intellectual sort of.
He was never an intellectual. He was always a compromised individual.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Like forget any speech that he makes. Look, he's just a puppet. He's just a puppet.
Yeah.
A dangerous puppet.
Forget any speech he makes. Look at who his family are married into. It's just.
And look who bailed him out when he was in debt.
Yeah.
Rothschild.
What, 3 times? Bankrupt 3 times and still get to the top of America? Yeah, absolute flipping nonsense. It's a show. I go back to Barnum World. If nobody here has watched
Barnum World, yes.
That if nobody here has watched that, go and watch Barnum World. It's available on YouTube. Barnum World, the movie. Just go and watch it. It will just sanctify everything you've believed about politicians, whether they're American, British, whatever.
Where do you find it? Give a brief description.
YouTube.
For people listening.
YouTube.
Type in BARNUM World movie, and it normally comes up Barnum World movie 4K. Just go and watch it. If you've got any doubts about your own doubts, about society, just go and watch that movie. And not
It's
all of
funny.
it is correct. Not all of it is correct. I mean, some of the
Mm.
stuff about mind manipulation is just absolute nonsense. But the basic premise is great. My favorite part of that movie is within the first minute where Joe Biden says, "I can sum up America in one word." Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, of interest is that in the numerology world, Trump, between his last day in office and the day he announced he was running for presidency, was 666 days.
Interesting.
666.
And Aunt Sally says, "Isn't it true?" Sorry, changing the subject slightly, though. That this is you're correct here. That man's wee wee is the only one that works on compost. Yes, I did hear that. Women's wee wee isn't so good. Likewise, if a male dog pisses on your lawn, no problem. A bitch's piss turns the grass yellow.
There is something about the hormones that have
Yeah,
something
something to do with
to do with
hormones,
that.
yeah.
And that documentary, I sent that to you. It talks a bit about how the
Cheers.
pharmaceutical companies for menopausal women, they would actually take pregnant mare's urine and use that to formulate a drug for menopausal women.
Really?
And
So-
it was called Premarin. So it's basically a
heavens.
abbreviation of pregnant mare's urine.
Good heavens. Now, ladies, if you'd like me to come and piss on your compost heap, I hire myself out.
He sells it by the gallon. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Right. Hello, ladies. Right. Just undo me zipper. Where would you like me to piss? But,
You can't
anyway.
do it B&Q.
But by the way, I've got one of my roses has died. I'm going to replace it. Any good tips for a good, nice rose? Because they're bloody expensive, unless you buy them in places like Aldi or Sainsbury's or somewhere. But if you go and buy them mail order, they're about 35, 40 quid, aren't they? Very expensive roses. But what do you think of the Maleficus? What do you think of the ones that you can buy from the supermarkets? Are they much pop?
Don't bother buying roses from a supermarket. If you find a rose that you like, simply take a cutting.
Yes.
Simply take a cutting. It's very easy. You can go onto Google and find out how to take a cutting off of a rose.
I've got
I
loads
don't
of
have to
roses,
explain.
yeah.
Yeah, take a cutting, dip the cutting in a rooting hormone, and then plop it in some decent compost, and you're away. Roses are very, very hard things to kill.
They're lovely, and they last for ages. I mean, I've got roses.
They last
about
for eons. They last
Yes.
for eons. I look after a garden that has got roses that have been there for probably, I'm going to say, like 50, 60 years plus.
And you can eat the petals off roses.
Yeah,
Can you
and you
really?
can off of magnolia as well. Magnolia is actually got beautiful qualities to it. If you eat the magnolia petals, they're really good for you. The Japanese actually ferment them and use them as
Really?
garnish for their food. Yeah.
And rose water
And-
is known for like fragrance.
And do you know how to soften leather, by the way? Because Warhead Rex's
Urine.
urine collection used to be
They-
a profitable industry because that was in the leather tanning industry.
Yes,
Yeah,
they would.
yeah, yeah.
They use it as a means of getting rid of the lime slack that they soak the skin in.
Yeah.
And
Lovely.
they used to make niter beds for the military using urine. That was a common
Really?
feedstock.
Didn't know
Well,
that.
urine is one of the prime sources for saltpeter as well. I've recently been in contact with Misha Popov, who is writing a book about gunpowder in the Bible. Now, we're all supposed to believe that gunpowder was created by the Chinese back in the 13th century. Absolute nonsense. You've all heard the story. You've all heard the song, Joshua blew the horns of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down.
Yeah.
You know that story. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was nothing. So the story goes that Joshua got his army to circle the city for 3 days. and then he blew the horn, and the walls came tumbling down because the Lord told him to. You know, the
You're
truth
saying
of
the
the matter.
horns were actually muskets?
No, I'm saying what happened is while he was circling the armies round for 3 days, the walls of Jericho were so wide that the peasants actually lived in the walls, and somebody managed to infiltrate the part of the wall and gained some allies in there, basically, and they planted their own gunpowder in the walls so that when the horns were blown, it was the signal
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
gunpowder to be initiated. And if you look at the passages in the Bible, you'll see that actually the people trying to defend Jericho came up man by man, not like as a squad, as a platoon or whatever. They came up man by man because the gap in the wall was quite small. They actually blew a hole in the walls of Jericho with the use of gunpowder. Now that's a new concept maybe for some people, but
It's an interesting possibility and
well,
probability.
Misha's just sent me the first chapter of his book to review, which I'm very privileged to do so. But his book is all about gunpowder in the Bible, and we will maybe get into that. I've got to get Misha on to maybe talk with you, Eric. It's a very interesting.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah,
please.
he's very good. You'd
And
like
he's
him. Is he still
amazing.
down in South America? Or did he move back?
I'm not sure whether he's moved back or not. His
He was
email
down
address.
near Paraguay.
Yeah, his email suggests that he might be in Canada, but that might be just be the little tag under the email. I don't know.
And
So,
also, did you know during the English Civil War, they government could come in and dig your floor up of your house because people used to wee on the floor, and that's, as you said earlier, about the saltpeter. They need it.
the saltpeter, that's what it's all
That's
about.
true.
Yeah, this has been known about for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. It's nothing to do with the Chinese inventing fireworks. It's down to the fact that this has always been known. The whole Greek fire oil thing, it's always been known. It's just it's been suppressed from public knowledge.
That's right. And I actually believe that, well, when you look at Rockefeller medicine, where he actually paid to discredit natural medicine so that his oil-based crap could be pushed forward, you've only got to look at the state of the NHS today and medicine, they say it's modern medicine. It's not modern medicine. It's synthetic medicine.
It's synthetic medicine. It is
vile.
modern medicine. It is modern medicine, but it's rubbish.
It is.
Yes, all right, the 11th century, Mike Mantis. Sorry about that. But I quoted the 13th, but the Joshua blew the horns of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down.
Right.
That would have been in BC time.
Yeah, it's all there.
2000,
and they've known about gunpowder for a long, long time. The explosive power of saltpeter, they've known about that for a long, long time. So, I'll see if I can get Misha on to talk with you, Eric.
Oh, yes, please. Misha, that sounds, is he South American or?
He's of Russian descent, I believe.
Oh, Russian.
Misha,
sorry, I missed that. Yes.
Misha Popov, but he's a Canadian guy. He's phenomenally wise. Very blessed to call him one of my friends. Definitely.
Oh, brilliant. Please do get him. I very much appreciate that. I'm also hoping to get Andrew Johnson on the show as well. He's friends with Richard E. Hall, and he's written a new book, which I'm hoping to get him on to talk about.
I've got a 6 DVD box set of Richard Hall's here called The Truth About Madeleine McCann. How about that?
Yes, and the truth has never came out about Madeleine McCann, and
no, but all the court cases have.
Who's Madeleine McCann? For
Madeleine McCann,
American
she went missing, was abducted. What are we talking about?
In the Bahamas? Is this
about
Spain,
20 years?
About 20 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, about
no,
20
in
years
Portugal, yeah, just up the road to where a lot of famous people live. such as I can't really mention it because he's still alive, but
The nephew of somebody very prominent,
yes,
and
yes.
Cliff Richard? Sorry, I just, that name came to mind for some reason.
No,
allegedly, and
Yeah? Okay.
who was that bloke that used to go on and have what was his name? Floyd.
Freud. That's the
yes,
one. Sigmund
the one.
Freud.
Sigmund Freud. Freud's nephew. Yeah.
Nephew was right next door, wasn't he?
That's
Pretty
right.
much.
And he
Just
was
a
a
few miles
paedophile. I can say that because he's dead now. But yeah,
but
he
it
was a
doesn't.
paedophile.
Look, it doesn't matter. Like one of the main things about that case is the fact that all the people that were investigating Madeleine McCann's disappearance, quote unquote, were pulled off of the case.
Yes.
And if Richard D. Hall is to believe, then the first person that Madeleine McCann's father phoned
Clement Freud,
after the
that's it, yeah.
disappearance was actually Gordon Brown, who was acting prime minister at the time. So
Interesting.
there are many aspects to that whole thing, and I'm not an authority on it at all because it's not my field of investigation.
And the chat was Clement Freud, wasn't it? That lived. Thanks,
Clement
DJB.
Freud,
So Clement Freud. I got the name wrong. I'm terribly sorry, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Clement
And
Freud. Another person that we ought to try and get in touch with as a group of truth seekers is Sandra Utley, who wrote the book on Dunblane Unburied,
really?
the Dunblane massacre.
Oh yes, that'd be good.
And Thomas Hamilton, who perpetrated the Dunblane massacre up in Scotland, was a known provider of paedophilic material to local authorities. If anything is to believed, and one of the eyewitness testimonies from that incident was a little girl of 5 years old who had the wherewithal to actually lie down and pretend to be dead while all her friends were being shot, said that some men came in and shot the shooter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Bless her. Who at the age of 5, she must be carrying that with her now, who at the age of 5 would have the wherewithal to lie down and pretend to be dead while all her friends were being shot? That part of the story for me actually really made me well up. So for want of better words.
Well, it makes me sad when I see bombs and things going off, and I think of the innocent people that are being killed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, look,
on all sides.
All
on all
wars
sides.
are bankers' wars. When you look at Ukraine, when you look at what's going on in the Middle East, all this is being paid for by somebody. And as Grandad rightly pointed out in his book, at the very start of his book, before he even got into the detail, he said, why is it that all these wars, credit is created out of nothing to pay for these wars, yet for peace, credit is immediately restricted?
That's right. That's correct.
So
just going back onto Madeleine McCann's brief, whilst you're talking about that, I thought I'd have a quick look into the dates. So she went missing on the 3rd of May, which is 35. Satanic equals 35. And interesting that in the Wikipedia information, not only was the restaurant 55 meters away, which is 55 also equals satanic, by the way, but they put in a height of 2 feet 11 inches. Well, 211 matches to human sacrifice ritual, which probably says quite a lot.
The world's a stage, old boy, and all those
It
upon
is.
it actors.
It is.
It is.
If anyone's got any interest, do look into obviously Richard D. Hall's videos on Madeleine McCann, the true story, and also look into Sandra Utley's a book called Dunblane Unburied. Really, that book honestly, it repeats itself quite a lot, but it is well worth a read. And she was, so just to put it into perspective, Sandra Utley was the second part of the second paramedic team that were put into place to relieve the first paramedic team, all of which had post-traumatic stress disorder, by the way, after what they saw. So
sounds terrible.
and she ended up getting into a relationship with a guy whose child was one of the victims. So she's got quite a lot of inside information there. Sandra Utley, her name is
Sandra Utley.
Uttley. Sandra Utley, Dunblane Unburied. You can find the book in various places. I wouldn't suggest Amazon if you can find it somewhere else, just purely because I hate the idea of people dealing with the devil. But I'm sure it's on archive by now.
Just on the with regards to the Dunblane, that was the 13th of March 1996. Day of the year 73. 73's ritual day. 73 equals ritual.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, Thomas Hamilton was responsible for all the children's clubs in the area, yet had no qualifications for working with children. Thomas Hamilton was the perpetrator, supposedly, of the crime. He used to take kids away on summer camps over to Loch Lomond, and make videos of similar to Lord of the Flies and things like that with kids in their underpants and this, that, and the other. Various people were visiting his his council apartment, let's put it that way. Various high-profile people were visiting. No one knows really what for, but it is suggested in the book that they were picking up videotapes of various things. So, as I say, I'm not the authority on it. Everyone has to do their own due diligence. That's spelt with a D. And just make your own path out of this. But there's so many jigsaw pieces out there that people, I've got a friend who will only go to mainstream sources for his information. And we always come to loggerheads when it comes into conversations because he can't conceive the things that I'm saying. And, well, you better have a serious bit of evidence for that. Well, I have, but you're going to have to take an awful lot of time to go and look into it. So, look, everyone's got to do their own due diligence. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I think if more people understood the numerology and that obviously Survival Steve and I know about, people would see through the news every time that it comes up, and these things take place on specific dates for a reason, and it's not by accident.
I did a broadcast with BB9 recently, and we were talking. We were talking about the week that, because BB9's program is all about noticing patterns, quote unquote. And I was talking about that week in particular. We had COVID, we had the Spanish flu hit America, and we also had SARS, all within the space of 2 days within various years.
Strange. Very strange.
22nd of March, isn't it? 223.
No. So it was the 11th and the 12th of March. So you had SARS, you had COVID, and you had the Spanish flu. All occurred around the 11th or the 12th of March. If you go back through the timeline.
And there's a lot of evidence that it was caused by radio waves and microwaves.
Yeah, and also the fact that they were inoculating everyone.
Yes, that was the 1918 one, wasn't it? Because that was
the Spanish flu. That was not the Spanish flu. Oh no,
Yeah.
the Spanish flu was my father actually came down with the Spanish flu.
That was 1968, I think, Spanish flu. But the I don't know what the one was called in 1918. But they actually gave the old stabbed the arms of a lot of American troops that came over.
Yeah,
and it was an experiment and went wrong. So
did it go wrong? Was it that wrong? I don't think so.
Or perhaps it was meant to be.
When you look at how a system, going back to Barnum World, everyone thinks that the system isn't working for them. But when you take a step back and look at how the system actually is working, you understand what it's meant to be doing.
It's a death cult, basically. I really do believe those in government are demonic, and it's part of a death cult. That's why we have wars, stupid wars, to just wipe out the youth of the countries.
I think most of them are compromised or stupid, and therefore allow themselves to be advised by people who supposedly know better.
Yes. Spanish flu was overdoses of aspirin. That's what
I just think they're the front people, and it's the people behind that are pulling the strings, like the Jesuits or the Knights of Malta, or pick one of them. That's the individual you see on the TV is just the front man in it.
That's right. You're right. But by the way, Patrick,
you don't
thanks.
need to put a label on them, I guess.
You sent a lot of things through to me. Thanks, Patrick. It's much appreciated. I'll look that up tomorrow morning. That's
you're
much appreciated. It really is. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I feel a need to hit the hay. As they
I'm sorry I came in so late and then ended up shouting a lot. But there we go.
No, you don't shout. And I'm afraid, as you came in late, we need a note from your parents. I'm sorry about this, but
it will be coming. I'll tell you what, I'll sellotape an apple to my book the next time.
Oh, that's the best thing to do. And tomorrow night we've got Nathan Allenby coming on, and he's going to be talking about the positive things we can do. And
that sounds good.
Yes, and in the second hour, gentlemen, even in the first hour, you're welcome to join us. So you're always welcome to join us, and it's about more self-sufficiency and that type of thing. And that's right, I'm looking in my book here, and it's about empowerment. He's very much into empowerment, how we can empower people to do their own things. We provide our own food, do our own, get forward and be positive about things.
I like the sound of that.
So so if you're welcome on, so if you'd like to come on, and now he's going to talk for about an hour, and about 9ish, more than welcome on. And apparently, what we've been talking about, it's in John Hamer's books. That's interesting. And now, Walhole Rex says, polio was a particularly nasty early pesticide. I heard about that they got into the water. I think spraying apples, wasn't it? Kids would swim in the irrigation and stock ponds in the summer and develop a paralysis. And that's how... who is that president of America?
Roosevelt or John F. Kennedy?
No, it was Roosevelt. That's how he got polio, because he was brought up around apple orchards.
Huh.
So,
interesting.
Yes. But I wonder that because he was supposed to be one of the most corrupt. He was the one that masterminded the theft of gold off of the American citizens, wasn't it?
Yes, he did.
FDR,
1933. Yep. A lot happened in 1933.
Brought us into World War II.
Yes.
Yes. Just very briefly, Paul, MALLIFICUS @outlook.com. Give me a shout. I'd love to get you on for the.
Let me just run that past me again.
Maleficus at Outlook. Maleficus.
MALLIFICUS @outlook.com. And if anyone wants to message me on that email address and chastise me for the dreadful things that I've said over the last couple of hours, feel free. It's fine.
Well, the most important thing for the history of for the future of the world is the poll that we did tonight. And
John Cleese needs to win. Basil Fawlty needs to win. He's the best. He's the best.
Are you ready? Now, coming in at 0 is Desperate Dan from the Dandy comic, and Felix and his amazing underpants from Viz magazine. He got 0 votes. So I'm very sorry. And we got 21 votes. And at 5%, we've got cardboard cutouts of the Cray twins. Oh, Mr. Methane. I'm 4%. Oh, it's gone down. Hello, we got 22 votes now. It's changed. So we got, I'll read it from the top. Basil 40, 19%. Mr. Methane, 4%. Cardboard cutouts of the Cray twins, 4%. Lassie, the Collie Dog film star, 14%. The reincarnation of Celeste Patterson, 4%. Pinhead from Hellraiser films, 4%. Fat Slags, 10%. A jar of Peter Mandelson's hemorrhoid cream, 4%. Felix and his amazing underpants, 0%. Sooty got 14%. But overall, all winner is so far at 23%, Skippy the bush kangaroo.
Oh dear. No, John Cleese deserved that, man.
Remember, friends, it's vote if you want to. So this poll will be open still tomorrow, and we get the results of the poll tomorrow's show.
See, I think Sooty has a high chance of winning because for the simple fact that most of the politicians like a hand up them, and so Sooty's already got that experience.
That's good, isn't it?
You got a good point there, mate.
Excellent point. I like that.
He's the most qualified.
Yeah, been there, done that, got the hand.
Oh man, oh dear. No, I hate to say it, but I think Paul's right. I do, yeah. As much as I love John Cleese, I think Paul's hit the nail on the head there.
He's got a bit of establishment though, John Cleese, isn't he? That's the trouble. You know.
I love John Cleese to bits. He's my favourite comedian. He's my comedic hero.
40 Towers is what gets me. Did you ever get that in the States, Patrick? 40 Towers?
Yeah, it was short. We got all of that. The Monty Python stuff especially.
But I still
we had
that one.
we had what's his face from Monty Python. He's from Minnesota here. What's his face? Terry Gilliam.
Oh, Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam, yeah.
Yes. But the funniest one was with the garden gnome. The garden gnome, the big pointed at. There's a builder that's playing about it. Says, if you don't come in, he said, if you don't come here and get this thing done, I'm going to insert this garden gnome into you. And a few scenes later, there's Basil walking out with this garden gnome under his arm. And his wife says, where are you going, Basil? Just to go to see the builder.
Well, isn't that the same one where the gnomes in the welcome area where the guests come in? And doesn't she say, "Oh, leave him there. He's doing more work than you."
Oh, that was classic, wasn't it? But
one of the best scenes with John Cleese was, is this the right room for an argument? Well, I've already told you once. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. I love it.
Oh, yes, that one, yes. But,
sorry, is this the whole half hour or is it just the 5 minutes?
Like when he goes in the wrong room. Look at the state of these bloody shoes. Oh, terribly sorry. Wrong department.
They never did 2 series of Fawlty Towers, didn't there? There was only 12 episodes done.
Yeah. 12 episodes, yeah. They were my favourite go-to when I was a kid. Seriously.
Oh, classic.
What was it? The Air Force guy who was, I can't remember what his name was, and he was talking to that woman in the barn, and she's got a little dog, and he says, "Oh, what sort of dog is it?" And she says, It's a little Shih Tzu. He says, "Is it? That's a surprise. Looks quite a pleasant dog."
Oh, some classics.
The
classic
major,
lines in
the
that.
major,
Major, like,
he was-
yes,
he
that's
was
him.
just brilliant.
When there's a rat, he said there's no Germans. The war's over now. No, he said they're filthy, isn't they? It was a dirty rat. And
It was a
when the health
dirty
ins-
rat.
with the health inspector, and he opens it to the biscuits and bleeding thing looking around at him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, but
The other one was. You know what you'll do? You know what I'll do if I find you've been gambling again, Basil? You'll have to sew them on first.
But did you know that Manuel, the waiter, was originally going to be German, and that's why they got him, because he was German, and he said no. He said if a German was the part of the waiter, you'd end up running the hotel. He said let's make him Spanish, and that's true. He was originally written to be German.
Sachs used to teach Spanish on Open University, didn't he? That was one of his qualifications. Yeah.
Because he could also, because he was born in Germany, he could also speak fluent German as well.
Yeah, but he sued,
Really?
actually sued John Cleese halfway through the
Did he?
through the filming, because John Cleese had actually. You remember that scene with the frying pan when he clamped him round the head?
Yeah.
He actually did clamp him round the head.
He did, yeah.
God, yeah.
And John Cleese got sued for that.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Did they
Maybe
get? I
that's
guess
why
they
it was
didn't.
so short. A season. 2
Mind you.
seasons. That's
He actually
nothing.
married Connie Booth as well, didn't he? That was his
That's
second
right.
wife.
But the
Yeah.
thing is that I'm not sure Manuel or Andrew Sachs
Andrew-
got on. Did he get on with him? I don't think he did. Did he?
Yes, no, he did. The suing was a formality. That just shows you this whole fucking thing, doesn't it? The fact that suing
Yeah.
you is a formality, but we're still going to get on.
Yeah.
Because our
Unbelievable.
contracts say that we've got to.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
Yeah,
realise that.
I was going to bring up about the frying pan, because he smacked him on the head, and he actually had concussion for a couple of days. This for
yeah,
that.
he had concussion.
Good God, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, he actually clobbered him one.
But that builder was the one that made me laugh. What's his name? Oh, Doherty or something.
Lick a paint.
Oh yeah, so that'll do just right.
Which one of you is man with beard? There's three clean shaven and one with a beard.
And do you remember Manuel took a phone call and he says, "There's 3 builders here. Yeah, the one that looks like a baboon."
I learn English very well. I learn it from a book.
And apparently,
do you really? Oh, because the horse's head sat on reception, and
Yeah.
Manuel's underneath polishing all the stuff.
that's right.
Major
And,
turns up to the reception. I learn English very well. I learned it from a book, and he's like, blah, 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 "Do you?"
But apparently, it wasn't filmed in Torquay. It was filmed in Buckinghamshire. Nowhere near Torquay.
That's right. No, it was taken because John Cleese stayed in a hotel in Torquay,
That was
and
it.
he
Yeah.
modelled the whole thing off of the hotel manager of where he stayed.
Yeah.
Because he was that much of a cunt, basically.
He was so rude. And
He was so rude, and he thought this
yeah.
is the perfect basis for a fucking comedy
Yeah.
sitcom.
Yeah.
This is the first episode of the woman who's deaf and blind or whatever.
Oh,
And,
that was
She
brilliant.
says, "I can't see the sea." He says, "It's over there between the sky and the land."
that that woman that acted that part in actual life, she was the nicest person you could ever wish to meet. But she always acted the part of an haughty old cow. And she said that, I think, on a talk show. She said, I always get these parts of these haughty people. And she's a really nice person. But she said, with that hearing aid, what?
Mrs.
He said,
Richards. Mrs. Alice Richards. Yeah.
Do you remember that when they went into the wrong room and there's a bloke climbing up a doll? Do you remember that?
Yeah. What amazed me with that actually was that Prunella Scales, excuse me, Prunella Scales, her first film ever was Hobson's Choice.
Was it?
Yes, and you can see her as a very, very young woman in black and white as one of Hobson's daughters.
Good heavens. So I've got a bit of trouble with my camera.
So Hobson's Choice, if you go and watch that movie, you'll see Prunella Scales in her first ever casting.
Good God. That's amazing. And it's amazing when you see these old films and the people look so young in them. And you see how Orson Welles, he's the one that aged so quickly. He really did. I mean, when you see him in The Third Man, he's completely different to several years afterwards. When he's great, he had a weight problem and things like that. Anyway, I think I must zoom. Hit the hay,
Eric,
as they
thank
say.
you so much, mate.
Thank you for
so
coming
much
on.
for having me on.
And it's much appreciated. Thank you, everyone in the studio. Thanks, Patrick, Paul, and Mr. Scott, and also thank you everybody in chat. That's really makes the program. And tomorrow night, 8:00, same time, please join us where we got Nathan Allenby, and he's got something really interesting to say. And I've got some films as well to show about positive things. So it should be a feel-good show. Make really cheer us up a bit.
We need some of
And
them.
we need some of that. And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh. And remember, subscribe and shove a thumbs up. And good night.
They all love it up, Mr. Mannering.